The billionaire, the money-worshipping school beauty has become my maid. Chen travels to a parallel world and starts with the beauty system, wielding the power of money. His materialistic campus Belle girlfriend threatens to break up, but he reveals his identity as a tycoon, and the goddess instantly becomes his loyal follower. Gorgeous women, luxury cars, expensive watches, skyscrapers, listed companies, he has it all. While his college roommates are still stuck as first-class citizens, Chen has quietly become the richest man in the Federation. Looking at the rich list, 9-star tycoon, Chen. Hundreds of millions are stunned. Countless people are totally shocked. Chapter 1. Yao Yao, why don't you be my girlfriend? What's so great about Chen? My family has plenty of money. Wouldn't it be better to be with me than with Chen, that 1-star citizen? Haiqin University. Boys Dormitory Building 216, Room 301. Chen was holding a laptop, his eyes fixed on the screen showing a WeChat chat history, a strange expression appearing on his face. Damn, this is explosive. I'm about to be cheated on. My good buddy is secretly flirting with my girlfriend. This plot is so melodramatic. This laptop wasn't Chen's, but his roommate Zhu Lei's personal item. Since it was Saturday, Zhu Lei and the other 2 roommates were not in the dormitory. Out of boredom, Chen picked up Zhu Lei's laptop, intending to watch a movie online. Unexpectedly, when he opened the laptop, Zhu Lei's WeChat was still logged in, and there was an active chat window on the screen. Last night, Zhu Lei had been chatting with a girl on WeChat, and their conversation had lasted into the early hours of the morning. To Chen's shock, the girl was none other than his girlfriend Su Qingyao. Zhu Lei, Yao Yao, didn't you say you wanted to marry into a rich family and become a wealthy wife? Su Qingyao, millimeter. Zhu Lei, why would you agree to be Chen's girlfriend? Su Qingyao, because he's handsome. Zhu Lei, what's the use of being handsome? Can handsomeness be used to buy food? Don't you want to become a wealthy wife? Su Qingyao, of course I do. Zhu Lei, Yao Yao, as long as you break up with Chen and become my girlfriend, I'll give you a Mercedes-Benz. How about it? Su Qingyao, Mercedes S-Class. Zhu Lei, how about a Mercedes C-Class? Su Qingyao, hey, if it's a Mercedes S-Class, I might consider it. But the C-Class is a no-go. Zhu Lei, emoji, cold sweat. Su Qingyao, Zhu Lei, didn't you say your family is rich? You can't even afford an S-Class Mercedes. What the hell, his best buddy was hitting on his girlfriend. And his girlfriend didn't reject him, in fact, she seemed quite eager to give him a chance. Any normal guy would probably be furious and might even do something extreme in such a situation. But Chen remained completely calm, watching this unfold with the attitude of someone watching a show. The reason? Chen was a transmigrator. He had crossed over from Earth to a parallel world called Blue Star, and had taken over the body of a boy with the same name. In this world, money was paramount, and everyone was ranked according to their wealth. Chen's current country, the Great Shear Federation, even implemented a wealth-based citizen ranking system. Citizens with assets below 100,000 were considered 1-star citizens. Citizens with assets above 100,000 were 2-star citizens. Citizens with assets above 1 million were 3-star citizens. Citizens with assets above 10 million were 4-star citizens. The higher the star ranking, the more benefits one could enjoy from the Federation. For example, citizens below 5 stars were subject to a monogamous marriage system, while those above 5 stars could have multiple wives. Additionally, first-class cabins on airplanes, high-speed trains, and luxury cruise ships were reserved for 3-star citizens and above. Even hotel check-ins were strictly regulated according to a citizen star ranking. For star citizens couldn't even check into a 5-star hotel. Currently, the wealthiest person in the Great Shear Federation had assets exceeding 100 billion, making him the Federation's first ever 8-star citizen. Back to the point. Zhu Lei could be considered a rich second generation, but he wasn't extremely wealthy. Zhu Lei's parents ran an investment company in Haiqin City, and with the success of that business, they had both become 4-star citizens. Because Zhu Lei's parents bought a house in his name, Zhu Lei's personal assets exceeded 1 million, thus making him a 3-star citizen. 3-star citizen. Hiss. That's so cool. He could fly first class, take the train in a VIP seat, and cruise in luxury. So, Zhu Lei often carried himself as if he were superior to others, looking down on everyone else as if they were poor losers. Zhu Lei, Yao Yao, this is what you said. Zhu Lei, I'm going to ask my parents for money right now, and tomorrow I'll deliver the Mercedes S-Class to you. Zhu Lei, you better not back out. Click. Suddenly, there was a faint sound from the laptop, and it shut down automatically due to a low battery. Jiang Chen was furious. After working so hard to enjoy the gossip, it shut down at this crucial moment. He quickly plugged the laptop into charge, wanting to see the follow-up conversation between Zhu Lei and Su Qingyao. But when the laptop rebooted, it asked for a password to unlock it. Fine. Jiang Chen didn't know the password, so he had no choice but to give up on his plans to keep reading. However, even without further information, he could easily guess that Su Qingyao would definitely agree to Zhu Lei's pursuit. Even the low-end Mercedes S-Class cost over $1 million. In other words, if Su Qingyao owned a Mercedes S-Class, she could instantly become a 3-star citizen. Heh! What a calculation! No wonder she's a materialistic girl. Su Qingyao, Jiang Chen's girlfriend, was one of the foremost beautiful girls at Haiqin University. At 21 years old, she had an enchanting face and a hot body, topped with a set of 36D assets that could drive any man wild. Jiang Chen was able to win her over not because he was rich or good at flirting, but simply because he was handsome. When he first entered Haiqin University, he was crowned the campus heartthrob. Even though he was the school's heartthrob, it took him nearly 3 years to win Su Qingyao's heart. However, in less than 3 months of being together, Jiang Chen realized that Su Qingyao was a full-fledged gold digger. During these 3 months, Su Qingyao had tried every trick to get Jiang Chen to spend money on her buying phones, bags, jewelry, cosmetics. As a result, Jiang Chen had borrowed countless amounts of money online. Roughly estimated, he was about 200,000 yuan in debt. But even after spending nearly 200,000 yuan, Su Qingyao only let him hold her hand, and she wouldn't even let him kiss her. Let alone a hotel room that was out of the question. Thinking about this, Jiang Chen suddenly felt that the previous owner of this body was an absolute fool. What a loss! A 200,000 yuan loss, and he didn't even get a bite of the meat. It was a huge waste. Damn it! Whether in the past life or this one, I'm the one who cheats, not the one getting cheated on. Even if Su Qingyao is a gold digger, as long as she is still my girlfriend, I won't allow her to put a hat on me. At this moment, Jiang Chen finally embraced his role in this life. Gossip? What gossip? I'm about to be cheated on, and you expect me to care about gossip? Jiang Chen lowered his head and thought for a moment, then muttered to himself, "System, are you done loading yet? I'm about to be cheated on, and you're still dragging your feet." That's right. As a transmigrator, Jiang Chen had also received a system. But this system had been stuck on the loading screen, constantly reminding him to wait. However, Jiang Chen had lost his patience. His girlfriend was about to fall into another man's arms, and if he kept waiting, wouldn't he turn into a green-shelled turtle? Ding! At that moment, a sweet electronic notification rang in Jiang Chen's ear. Ding! System loading complete. Ding! Congratulations, host Jiang Chen has received a Newcomer S gift pack. Ding! Would you like to open the Newcomer S gift pack? Chapter 2, Newcomer S gift pack. Ding! This system is called the Red Face system. As long as the host can find a girlfriend with both looks and body score above 90 points, the system will reward the host. Additionally, the higher the girlfriend's affection for the host, the greater the rewards the host will receive. For specific rules, the host can view the personal panel. Following the system's guidance, Jiang Chen muttered to himself to open the panel. A flash of white light appeared, and immediately, a 3D virtual projection appeared in front of him. Host, Jiang Chen. Age, 21. Physical fitness, 80-100 is the maximum for an average person. Charm, 90-100 is the maximum for an average person. Skills, car driving level 2, painting level 5, guitar level 8, singing level 8-10 is the maximum for an average person. Red face, 1. Points, 0. Jiang Chen focused on the red face section. The screen suddenly flashed and switched to another page. Red face, Su Qingyao. Age, 21. Appearance, 90-100 is the maximum for an average person. Figure, 95-100 is the maximum for an average person. Number of ex-boyfriends, 0. Affection, 20 maximum value is 100. According to the system, affection levels are categorized as follows. 0 29 points, stranger. 30 59 points, ordinary friend. 60 89 points, close friend. 90 plus points, lover. A full 100 points means unwavering love until death. FCK. Su Qingyao, I spent 200,000 on you, and your affection for me is only 20 points. So, I'm spending an average of 10,000 per point of affection. Damn it. At this point, Chen couldn't help but curse aloud. It turns out that in Su Qingyao's eyes, he wasn't even considered an ordinary friend at most, he was just a backup, and that too, the backup to the ATM machine. Is this love? I love you, my ass. According to the system, when a girlfriend's affection for the host reaches 90 points, the host will receive a bronze chest. At 95 points, the host will receive a silver chest. At 100 points, the host will receive a gold chest. Chests are like blind boxes, opening them will give the host various system rewards. The higher the chest level, the rarer the rewards. In addition to the chests, there are also point rewards. Points can be used to enhance the host's physical fitness, increase charm, or even improve skill levels. The way to gain points is simple: the higher the affection level of the red face, the more points the host earns each day. For example, with Su Qingyao, who has 20 points of affection, Chen would earn 20 points every day. Ding! Would you like to open the newcomer's gift pack? The sudden sound of an electronic notification immediately pulled Chen back to reality. He froze for a moment and then eagerly shouted, "System, hurry up and open the newcomer's gift pack." Ding! Congratulations, host Chen has received a Porsche 918. Ding! Congratulations, host Chen has received a Jiang Shuexiu standalone villa. Ding! Congratulations, host Chen has received 100 million federal coins. With a series of system prompts, a heavy envelope suddenly appeared in Chen's hands. He quickly opened it. Inside, there was a Porsche car key, a vehicle registration certificate, a purchase invoice, a tax invoice, an insurance policy, and so on. Aside from these, there was also a deep red property deed. Chen picked up the property deed and opened it. His name appeared clearly, along with the address of the villa, First Villa, Jiang Shuexiu Community, Bingshan Road, Haiqin City. Just as Chen was lost in thought, his phone, which had been in his pocket, suddenly vibrated. It seemed like he had received a text message. Daxia Federation Bank, your account ending in 2727 completed a transfer of 100 million.00 federal coins on June 6 at 11:11 a.m. Your balance is now 100,510.39. Damn. The system really was the ultimate cheat. A simple newcomer's gift pack had given him a car, a house, and cash everything. Was the system planning to have him just live off of this for the rest of his life? System, where is my Porsche 918 parked? Chen asked curiously. Ding! The host's Porsche 918 is parked in the garage of your villa. The system responded. Jiang Shuexiu Community. It's less than 500 meters from Haiqin University. Chen's eyes lit up. Without hesitation, he grabbed the envelope and quickly left the boys' dormitory, heading straight for the Jiang Shuexiu Community near Haiqin University. On the way, Chen's smart wristband also received a text notification. Congratulations, Daxia Federation citizen Chen ID number, for 312812001010122653, your personal assets have surpassed 100 million federal coins, and your citizen level has been upgraded to 5 stars. Every citizen in the Daxia Federation is issued a smart wristband. This wristband serves as the citizen's ID. By simply scanning the wristband, one can view their citizen level and ID number. It can be said that every aspect of a citizen's life in Daxia Federation, from food to housing, requires this smart wristband. At this moment, Chen had arrived at the entrance of the Jiang Shuexiu Community. He gently scanned his wristband on the entrance system, and the door automatically opened. Ding! Welcome home, Mr. Chen, owner of Villa number 1 and 5-star citizen of the Federation. A sweet female voice suddenly came from the loudspeaker by the gate. Chen smiled confidently, adjusted his clothes slightly, and walked into the community with large strides. Chapter 3: The Gold-Digging Girlfriend. Jingyuan Shueishu Community. Villa Number 1. This is a detached villa with an area of more than 2,000 square meters. In front of the villa is a large garden, to the left is a small tennis court, and to the right is a separate garage. At the back is a temperature-controlled swimming pool, and in the center stands a 3-story mansion. Clack, clack, clack. Jiang Chen circled around the front garden, walking along a wide driveway until he reached the separate garage on the right side of the villa. Sure enough, inside the garage was a dazzling red sports car. It was the Porsche 918 that Jiang Chen had just received. A super luxury sports car worth over 14 million yuan was quietly parked there. Its body gleamed brightly, flawless and perfect. It looked like a high-class work of art, breathtaking to behold. Click. Jiang Chen took out the car key and pressed the unlock button. Beep beep. The next second, the two headlights of the Porsche 918 blinked coolly twice, and the car emitted 2 crisp horn sounds. The door lock clicked open. Suppressing his overwhelming excitement, Jiang Chen quickly walked over, opened the door, climbed into the driver's seat, and admired the luxurious and elegant interior. Har har. What a cool car. From now on, this car is mine. Closing the door, fastening his seatbelt, adjusting the seat and mirrors, Jiang Chen followed the steps that his driving school instructor had taught him, ensuring everything was set up before carefully pressing the start button. V-room. A deep, yet ferocious exhaust sound erupted. The Porsche 918 roared to life, filling Jiang Chen with excitement. Ring ring. Just then, Jiang Chen's phone, which was tucked in his pocket, suddenly rang. He pulled it out and saw the caller ID, Qingyao baby. Seeing the nickname he had given to Su Qingyao, Jiang Chen couldn't help but feel disgusted. How much did I have to flatter her for that? After thinking for a moment, Jiang Chen quickly deleted Qingyao baby and changed it to Spare Tire Number 1. Much better now. Watching Spare Tire Number 1 call him repeatedly, his phone vibrating incessantly, Jiang Chen couldn't help but laugh aloud, feeling an immense sense of revenge. You used to ignore me, but now, I'm out of your league. Chased after you for 3 years, spent 200,000 yuan, and still ended up as just a passerby boyfriend. Now, you're still eating from both sides. Now I have the system, why should I care about you? Did you really think I would continue being your loyal dog? There are plenty of other fish in the sea. I'm fine without you. Jiang Chen coldly smirked, silenced his phone, and pressed the gas pedal, speeding off. Jinju 2-star restaurant. A luxurious private room on the 3rd floor. Sandalwood furniture, crystal chandeliers, red carpets, silver cutlery. Dining here costs at least 3,888 yuan per meal. Yao Yao, why did you book such an expensive private room? Just so you know, I don't have much money left on me, so for this meal. A very sexy-looking woman was gazing at Su Qingyao with a troubled expression. This girl, named Lin Shuang, was Su Qingyao's best friend. She was also one of the 4 campus beauties at Haiqin University. Lin Shuang was indeed beautiful. Standing at 1.7 meters tall, with an oval face, delicate features, long flowing hair, and smooth skin. Her overall aura was a bit cold, perhaps because she rarely smiled. However, Lin Shuang was a dance major, and her flexibility and ability to unlock. Well, let's not get into that. Don't worry. I'll just give Jiang Chen a call and have him come over to pay the bill later. Su Qingyao casually took out her phone and dialed Jiang Chen's number. Su Qingyao, as one of the 4 campus beauties, was not only stunning in appearance but also had a curvaceous figure that rivaled Lin Shuang's. She was also known for her alluring charm. Her seductive almond-shaped eyes, with a tear mole below the right eye, added to her seductive aura. With just a glance, she could captivate anyone. Her charm practically oozed out of her. Yao Yao, is this really okay? You're about to break up with Jiang Chen, and now you're calling him over to pay the bill? Isn't he that a bit too much? Lin Shuang frowned, seemingly feeling a bit sorry for Jiang Chen. As Su Qingyao's best friend, Lin Shuang knew everything about the relationship between Su Qingyao and Jiang Chen. Recently, Su Qingyao had treated Jiang Chen like an ATM, draining him dry. The gifts Jiang Chen had given her had even promoted her from a 1-star citizen to a 2-star citizen. But this morning, Su Qingyao had told Lin Shuang about Zhu Lei pursuing her and half-jokingly said that if Zhu Lei really gave her a Mercedes S-Class, she would immediately break up with Jiang Chen. Ari, am I being too much? Well, should I not call Jiang Chen to pay the bill? Shall we split the bill? Looking at Su Qingyao's playful expression, Lin Shuang shook her head helplessly and said, "Forget it, just call Jiang Chen to pay the bill." It was clear that Su Qingyao and Lin Shuang shared the same mindset, both were gold-digging women. Indeed. Lin Shuang was also a gold digger, but with bigger ambitions. She wouldn't marry anyone unless they were a billionaire. That's why during college, Lin Shuang kept a cold attitude and remained single, never accepting any man's advances and avoiding any rumors. She was known as their iceberg goddess. As for Su Qingyao, she had earned the title of seductive goddess, and was even secretly referred to as Su Deji, a reference to a famous seductress in Chinese history due to her fox-like charm. Beep beep beep. At that moment, Su Qingyao finally got through to Jiang Chen. With a stern face, one hand holding the phone and the other on her waist, she looked every bit like a superior giving orders to a subordinate. Draw a girl to keep me company. Then draw a floral bedspread. We'll live and die together. The ringtone of the song Hua played repeatedly for 2 minutes, but Jiang Chen still had answered the call. Su Qingyao's brow furrowed in confusion. What's going on? Whenever she called Jiang Chen before, he would always pick up immediately. Why was he taking so long this time? Feeling embarrassed under Lin Shuang's questioning gaze, Su Qingyao suddenly felt a bit humiliated. She couldn't help but curse, that bastard Jiang Chen, he must have stayed up all night playing games, so now he is too lazy to get up and is still sleeping in the dorm. Yao Yao, maybe let us just forget about it. Lin Shuang's suggestion was simple and harmless. But in Su Qingyao's ears, it felt like a massive insult. Her face turned darker and darker, and her 30-60 assets swelled up and down with each breath. She seemed on the verge of exploding. Bastard! If he dares not pick up my call, I'll break up with him right now. Just then, the phone suddenly beeped, and the call connected. Hello. A deep, magnetic voice came from the other end, resembling a male announcer. But Su Qingyao was not in a good mood. Instead, she coldly scolded, Jiang Chen, listen up, I'm really mad right now. What's going on? Why did it take you so long to pick up the phone? I'm giving you half an hour to get to the Jinju 2-star restaurant to meet me. If you're late by even a minute, we're breaking up. While talking on the phone, Su Qingyao couldn't help but glance at Lin Shuang. Seeing the look of surprise on Lin Shuang's face, Su Qingyao felt a sense of satisfaction in her heart. According to past experience, Jiang Chen would definitely apologize profusely and rush to the restaurant, obediently paying for the meal. But this time, Su Qingyao had underestimated him. From the other end, Jiang Chen's icy voice came through. Su Qingyao, do you take me for a dog? Call me when you need me, and dismiss me when you don't. You're giving me half an hour to come meet you. Hey, how should I roll? Care to show me how it's done? Chapter 4 Saving life is the most important thing. Su Qingyao was stunned. Never expected that Jiang Chen, who had always been kneeling and licking her, would dare to contradict her so stubbornly today. Jiang Chen, what's your attitude? How dare you talk to me like this? How dare you? Su Qingyao was so angry that her face turned purple and she bit her lips tightly. The proud capital of 3060 was also rising and falling sharply, and it seemed that it might explode at any time. What attitude? I tell you, this is my attitude as a man. Jiang Chen's tone was still cold and his attitude was still very tough. Okay. Jiang Chen, listen to me, I don't care if you took the wrong medicine today, if you are willing to kneel down and apologize to me, I can forgive you once, otherwise. Su Qingyao was interrupted by Jiang Chen before she finished speaking. Jiang Chen cursed without any hesitation, I'll kneel down to you, you hottie, get out of here. Par. Su Qingyao was dumbfounded. She wanted to curse, but her words were stuck in her throat. Beep beep beep. That's right, Jiang Chen hung up the phone immediately after cursing. This was the first time Jiang Chen cursed her, and it was also the first time he hung up her phone. Su Qingyao was stunned for a while, and it took a long time to recover. Jiang Chen, this bastard. He dared to curse me. And, he hung up my phone. This is going to be outrageous. After a brief moment of surprise, Su Qingyao's anger immediately surged out. She quickly dialed Jiang Chen's number, but Jiang Chen didn't want to answer it at all and hung up directly. At this moment, Su Qingyao was about to explode. She immediately opened WeChat again, edited a short message, and sent it to Jiang Chen. Su Qingyao, Jiang Chen, you bastard. How dare you scold me? And hang up my phone. Break up. I want to break up with you. On the other side, Jiang Chen had just driven the Porsche 918 out of Jingyuan Shueishu community when he received a WeChat message from Su Qingyao on his phone. Seeing the word break up, Jiang Chen subconsciously wanted to reply, okay, break up. But at this moment, the system's prompt sound came to his ears. Ding! Su Qingyao's favorability towards you has dropped by 10 points. Squeak! Jiang Chen was so scared that he broke into a cold sweat. He stepped on the brake and instantly stopped the Porsche 918 on the side of the road. He remembered something very important. The system had warned before that if Hongyan's favorability towards the host was lower than 0, the system would determine that the two parties would automatically terminate their intimate relationship. Here comes the point, please draw the line, it's a must-take question. If their host's number of beauties is 0, the system will forcibly kill their host. That's right. It's a kill. There is no room for negotiation. The problem is that Jiang Chen now has only Su Qingyao as his girlfriend. If he breaks up with her, won't he die on the spot? Damn. The situation is a bit bad. After calming down, Jiang Chen's forehead broke out in a cold sweat. Now, there are not many choices in front of him. Either do everything you can to win back Su Qingyao, and never break up with Su Qingyao. Or just find a new girlfriend quickly. But these two paths, no matter which one, is easy to go. Jiang Chen has never been a dog licker in his previous life, let alone this life. As soon as he answered the phone, Su Qingyao scolded him and gave him half an hour to get out of here. Where have you ever been so angry? As a man of flesh and blood, how could he swallow his anger and try to please his girlfriend when he knew that she was about to cheat? A man can be killed, but he cannot be humiliated. How easy is it to find a new girlfriend, and she must be a goddess with a beauty and figure above 90 points. Time is so short, where can he find one? This is also Jiang Chen's fault. During the 3 years of college, he only had Su Qingyao in his eyes. Except for Su Qingyao, there was no opposite sex friend around him. Sure enough, a dog licker will end up with nothing. Jiang Chen took a look at the luxurious steering wheel of the Porsche 918 and felt a heartache. It's not easy to become a rich man. You can't just die like this. Forget it. It's better to live than to die. Dignity is shit. What's the use of dignity if you don't even have a life? Da. Jiang Chen quickly edited a WeChat message and replied to Su Qingyao. Jiang Chen, I absolutely disagree with breaking up. Su Qingyao, har, are you scared now? Jiang Chen, whatever you think, I don't agree to break up anyway. Su Qingyao, I still say that, I give you half an hour to roll over to see me, if you dare to be late for 1 second, we will break up immediately. Jiang Chen, give me the address. My friend Su Qingyao shared an address with you, Jinju 2-star Hotel, Furong Road, Haiqin City. Ding! Su Qingyao's favorability towards you has increased by 1 point. When the system prompt sound came again, Jiang Chen's face was almost green with anger. The original owner of this body is sick. Look, what kind of girlfriend is this? When the favorability drops, it drops by 10 points, and when the favorability rises, it only increases by 1 point. This is even harder to serve than his own ancestors. But as long as Su Qingyao's favorability towards Jiang Chen is lower than 0, he will die on the spot. In the final analysis, Jiang Chen could not let her favorability be lower than 0 even if he risked his life. Therefore, Jiang Chen temporarily held back his anger, stepped on the accelerator, and rushed to the Jinju 2-star hotel like a whirlwind. 20 minutes later, the Porsche 918 stopped at the door of the Jinju 2-star hotel. Jiang Chen wanted to walk directly into their hotel, but before getting off the car, he thought for a moment and copied the document bag containing the property certificate and the car purchase certificate. The waitress of the hotel saw that Jiang Chen came in a Porsche 918, so she immediately greeted him with enthusiasm. Jiang Chen just glanced at the lady casually and got her information. Name, Yang Xiaoman. Age, 24 years old. Appearance, 80 figure, 85 number of ex-boyfriends, 7 favorability, 50 damn. I didn't expect that this quiet and shy lady was actually a seven-hand car. You can't judge a person by his appearance, and you can't measure the sea. Next, under the guidance of the waitress, Jiang Chen came directly to the door of a luxurious box on the third floor. Squeak! The moment the door of the box was opened, the scene in the room also came into view in an instant. A large round table was filled with various delicious dishes: lobster, steak, king crab, caviar, foie gras, snails. Two beautiful women dressed very coolly were sitting at the dining table at this moment. Both women held a glass of red wine in their hands and tasted the wine in the glass very leisurely. The beautiful woman with long wavy hair on the left was Jiang Chen's girlfriend Su Qingyao. Su Qingyao, wearing a white sling on the upper body, a white chiffon shirt on the outside, and a pair of denim shorts, simply brought out the word sexy to the fullest. Look at Lin Shuang, who was sitting next to Su Qingyao. She was wearing a black camisole, a black chiffon top, and black jeans. She looked sexy and cool. Damn it! Who was she showing off to with so little? Jiang Chen couldn't help but complain in his heart, and walked over with a cold face, sitting down next to Su Qingyao. Did I ask you to sit down? Before Jiang Chen sat down firmly, Su Qingyao frowned and glared at him coldly. Jiang Chen ignored him and waved to the waiter standing at the door of the box, saying, "Please add a set of bowls and chopsticks, thank you." "Okay, sir, please wait." The waitress immediately brought a new set of tableware, and then respectfully left the box. Jiang Chen didn't look at Su Qingyao's face, and didn't care about the strange look from Lin Shuang. He directly brought a plate of lobsters on the table to himself and ate without hesitation. "Jiang Chen!" Su Qingyao shouted angrily. "Speak. What's the matter?" Jiang Chen replied dissatisfiedly. "Did I ask you to sit down? Did I ask you to eat? Are you deaf? You? Par." Before Su Qingyao finished speaking, Jiang Chen slammed the file bag in his hand on the dining table. At the same time, Jiang Chen was too lazy to explain anything and directly opened his smart bracelet. 5 shining stars, along with Jiang Chen's name and ID number, were neatly displayed together. At this moment, Su Qingyao's scolding stopped abruptly. Including Lin Shuang, she was also stunned on the spot. Their whole box suddenly fell into absolute silence. Then, a series of system prompts suddenly came to Jiang Chen's ears. Ding! Su Qingyao's favorability towards you increased by 50 points. Ding! Lin Shuang's favorability towards you increased by 30 points. Ding! Lin Shuang's figure and appearance are both above 90 points, which meets the standard of a beauty. Would the host like to pursue her? Chapter 5. I won't pretend anymore, I'm going to show my cards. Name, Lin Shuang. Age, 21. Appearance, 93. Body, 94. Number of ex-boyfriends, 0. Favorability, 80. What the hell? How come it's 80 points of favorability? Jiang Chen scratched his head, lost in thought. His CPU was almost burning. If I heard correctly, Lin Shuang's favorability only increased by 30 points after revealing her identity as a 5-star citizen. That is to say, before this, Lin Shuang's favorability was already 50 points. What's going on? The legitimate girlfriend's favorability towards Jiang Chen is only 20 points. On the contrary, the girlfriend's best friend's favorability has soared to 50 points. This amount of information is a bit too much. Jiang Chen tried hard to recall. According to the memory of this life, he didn't seem to have much contact with Lin Shuang. Jiang Chen, you? Huh? What is this? Su Qingyao finally noticed the file bag that Jiang Chen had slapped on the dining table. Because Jiang Chen had slapped it hard just now, the file bag was partially torn open, and the things inside were exposed. Swoosh! Su Qingyao quickly picked up the file bag, flipped it over, and the expression on her face became more and more surprised. A Porsche car key. A Porsche 918 driving license, as well as a car purchase invoice, insurance policy, tax payment certificate. The last one was the property certificate of Jingyuan Shueishu No. 1 Villa. When Su Qingyao saw the name, Jiang Chen, on the property certificate, it was as if she was struck by lightning. The brain made a buzzing sound, and the whole person was stunned. Jiang Chen, how did you suddenly become a federal 5-star citizen? These things are all yours. Porsche 918, single-family villa. Su Qingyao tightly grasped the file bag, staring at Jiang Chen, and couldn't wait to ask. Why should I tell you? Jiang Chen's mouth curled up slightly, revealing a playful expression. Oh. Husband, just tell me. Su Qingyao stamped her feet, glanced at Jiang Chen with anger, and a trace of anxiety appeared on her delicate and charming face. Oh. You just remembered that I'm your husband now. Jiang Chen looked at Su Qingyao with contempt, picked up a red wine glass on the table, and took a sip. Husband, tell me quickly. I'm really curious. Su Qingyao took the initiative to move closer to Jiang Chen, stretched out her hand to hold his arm, and shook it gently. The little woman's coquettish posture was simply displayed by her. Well, I have a distant relative who has been doing business in the Vulture Empire. Because he had no children, he gave all his property to me before he died. Jiang Chen cleared his throat and made up a lie. Really? Su Qingyao's eyes suddenly lit up. What does it have to do with you whether it's true or not? Jiang Chen glared at Su Qingyao, pulled his arm out of her arms, and said, hurry up and give me back the file bag. Seeing that Jiang Chen was about to reach out to take back the file bag, Su Qingyao immediately grabbed the Porsche car key in her hand. Hey! Why are you taking my car key? Jiang Chen frowned. Never expected that this woman was so greedy for money that she was almost robbing directly. Okay, this is very punishing. I don't care, if you dare to take it back, I will break up with you. Su Qingyao moved quickly. Before Jiang Chen's hand reached out, she immediately stuffed the car key into the chest of her clothes, and covered it tightly. Fuck! Su Qingyao, what are you doing? Jiang Chen was dumbfounded. If you dare to grab it, I will immediately shout indecent assault. Su Qingyao actually acted like a rogue. Swoosh! What surprised Su Qingyao was that Jiang Chen was not scared away, but took the initiative to attack and pinched her wrists. With a stern expression, Jiang Chen crossed Su Qingyao's wrists and folded them together, pinched her wrists with one hand, and raised Su Qingyao's hands above her head. Then, in the stunned eyes of Su Qingyao and Lin Shuang, Jiang Chen's other hand reached in and took out the Porsche car key from it. The whole process was smooth and there was no worry at all. Jiang Chen, you. At this moment, Su Qingyao couldn't help blushing, and looked at Jiang Chen's eyes, tut. Rippling water, extremely shy. What's wrong with me? Jiang Chen replied nonchalantly. Hubby, you are so manly today. When Su Qingyao said this, Jiang Chen almost sprayed out the red wine he had just drunk. Ding! Su Qingyao's favorability towards you +3. Ding! Su Qingyao's favorability towards you +3. Ding! Su Qingyao's favorability towards you +3. A series of system prompts sounded again, and Su Qingyao's favorability towards him actually increased again. Jiang Chen. Beauty, Su Qingyao. Age, 21. Appearance, 92. Body, 95. Number of ex-boyfriends, 0. Favorability, 70. Glancing at Su Qingyao's personal information, Jiang Chen pondered for a moment, then turned to look at Lin Shuang who was sitting next to him. Lin Shuang, if I remember correctly, you are still single now, and you have never had a boyfriend during college, right? Jiang Chen played with the car keys of the Porsche, and his brain was working rapidly. Lin Shuang obviously did not expect that Jiang Chen would suddenly talk to her. After a brief moment of astonishment, Lin Shuang's pretty face flushed slightly. She glanced at Su Qingyao, but nodded gently and replied, yeah. That's perfect. Su Qingyao wants to break up with me, right? How about you be my girlfriend? Jiang Chen said with a startling smile. What? At this moment, Su Qingyao and Lin Shuang were both stunned. Jiang Chen ignored the surprise of the two women. He just threw the car keys in his hand lightly in front of Lin Shuang. As long as you are willing to be my girlfriend, this Porsche 918 will be given to you. The corners of Jiang Chen's mouth rose slightly. Silence. There was silence in the box. Su Qingyao bit her lips tightly, as if she had bitten them until they bled. A pair of charming peach blossom eyes, now also full of grievance, anger, confusion, doubt. She glanced between Jiang Chen and Lin Shuang, feeling particularly aggrieved. Her nose was sore, and tears instantly welled up in her eyes. Jiang Chen, you actually treat me like this. You are too irresponsible. Su Qingyao shouted in a crying tone. I am irresponsible? Where did you get that from? Jiang Chen raised his eyebrows slightly and asked back. You actually pursued my best friend in front of me. Who do you think I am? I am your girlfriend. Jiang Chen looked at Su Qingyao's tearful eyes. Not only did he not soften his heart, but he smiled coldly, and a burst of anger surged out. You still know that you are my girlfriend. Jiang Chen sat down again, shook the red wine glass, and said with a mocking face. Jiang Chen, what do you mean? Su Qingyao wiped the tears from her eyes and asked carefully, is there any misunderstanding between us? Misunderstanding? Jiang Chen sneered and said coldly, you chatted with Zhu Lei on WeChat last night, and you chatted until late at night. Is this a misunderstanding? You asked Zhu Lei for a Mercedes-Benz S. Is this fake? You want to break up with me and become Zhu Lei's girlfriend? Have I ever wronged you in the slightest? Faced with 3 rhetorical questions from Jiang Chen in a row, Su Qingyao was stunned. She trembled her lips and opened her mouth several times, but she couldn't say a word. Su Qingyao, you are so cheap. For 3 years, I worked like a cow and a horse for you for 3 years. For 3 years, I gave you my heart, and you turned around and gave me a black tiger heart-piercing blow, right? A Mercedes-Benz S can buy you, tut-tut. If I had known you were so cheap, why would I have spent 3 years chasing you? It was simply blind, a waste of time, and a waste of feelings. Chapter 6 Plot Reversal. In the box. The atmosphere was as heavy as if a gunpowder barrel had been lit. Jiang Chen casually pulled a tissue, wiped his mouth, and then lit a cigarette for himself. As the smoke rose, Jiang Chen's thoughts flew to who knows where. Jiang Chen, listen to my explanation, things are not what you think. Su Qingyao took out her mobile phone, quickly opened WeChat, found the chat history between herself and Zhu Lei, and carefully handed the phone to Jiang Chen. Take it away, I don't have the habit of looking at other people's phones. Jiang Chen shook his head uninterested and said. Just take a look, okay? I beg you. I didn't expect Su Qingyao to beg pitifully. Jiang Chen couldn't help but raise his eyebrows, feeling quite fresh. In the memory of a lifetime, it was the first time that Su Qingyao spoke so humbly in front of him, looking aggrieved. Jiang Chen thought about it and took the phone from Su Qingyao. Everyone is curious. Jiang Chen is no exception. Jiang Chen had read the previous chat records on Zhu Lei's notebook. He quickly slid his finger down and found the most critical conversation. Zhu Lei, Qingyao, I will go home and ask my parents for money now. I will definitely send you a Mercedes-Benz S tomorrow. Zhu Lei, don't regret it when the time comes. It's here. When Jiang Chen saw this paragraph, Zhu Lei's notebook suddenly ran out of power. So, Jiang Chen naturally didn't know what Su Qingyao talked about with Zhu Lei next. Sure. Jiang Chen slid his finger, and the next chat record was immediately displayed in front of him. Su Qingyao, Zhu Lei, you are really a bastard. Jiang Chen is your good brother. Are you doing him justice by doing this? Zhu Lei, what good brother? Don't make me laugh, you're just a lowly 1-star citizen, what qualifications do you have to be my brother? Su Qingyao, if I show this chat record to Jiang Chen, guess if Jiang Chen will beat you up. Zhu Lei, Yao, what do you mean? Didn't you say that as long as I give you a Mercedes-Benz S, you will break up with Jiang Chen and become my girlfriend? Su Qingyao, I thought you were joking, but I didn't expect you to be serious. Jiang Chen is really blind to meet a brother like you. Zhu Lei, Su Qingyao, how dare you fool me? Su Qingyao, har, why don't you take a piss and look at yourself, with your pig head, you want to eat swan meat. Su Qingyao, if it weren't for Jiang Chen's face, I wouldn't even pay attention to you, let alone let you add me as a WeChat friend. Su Qingyao, aren't you just a 3-star citizen? What's so good about it? Even if you are an 8-star citizen, I will never look at you straight in the eye. Seeing this, Jiang Chen's face suddenly showed a strange expression. No. How come I feel a little touched? Hiss, the plot shouldn't be like this. The 24K pure gold digger is not gold digger anymore, what medicine did she take? It's not that I don't understand, the world is changing fast. After reading the chat records, Jiang Chen raised his head with a confused look on his face and looked at Su Qingyao blankly. No. Zhu Lei is willing to give you a Mercedes-Benz S, are you not moved at all? Jiang Chen scratched his head and couldn't help asking. Hearing this, Su Qingyao was stunned at first, and then shouted angrily, Jiang Chen, What do you mean? In your heart, am I an out-and-out gold digger? Yeah. Jiang Chen nodded very seriously. You? Su Qingyao pointed at Jiang Chen with a trembling hand, and couldn't say a word for a long time. 36D's proud capital was also rising and falling, and it was obvious that she was about to burst with anger at Jiang Chen's answer. Don't pretend, worship money if you want to, there's nothing to be ashamed of. Jiang Chen rolled his eyes and replied. Silence, no words. Su Qingyao's face turned red and white. Husband, you really hurt my heart this time, woo-woo. After a while, Su Qingyao put away her angry expression, and changed to a weak look, saying with a face full of grievance. Stop, stop, stop. Stop it now. Jiang Chen waved his hand speechlessly, feeling a headache. Never expected that he actually wronged Su Qingyao. But looking down at the phone, the facts were in front of him again. I can't help but believe it. Outrageous. I won't. Woohoo. You bullied me. Woohoo, you bullied me, but you didn't come to comfort me, you're so annoying. Su Qingyao cried, stretched out her little fist, and then hit Jiang Chen randomly. At this moment, Jiang Chen finally realized the horror of women. It's not a good thing to keep doing this. Maybe he felt that he had wronged the girl and felt a little guilty, so Jiang Chen's heart softened. He sighed, opened his mouth, and was ready to comfort the other party. At this moment, Su Qingyao suddenly had an idea and said, Husband, if you give me a Porsche 918, I will forgive you, okay? Damn. She is still the same girl. You are still the boy before, without any change. Forgive me. Jiang Chen's breathing stagnated, and his face suddenly became serious and said, Who said he wanted to break up with me just now? Hearing this, Su Qingyao's face suddenly became embarrassed. She rolled her eyes, lowered her head, and said in a voice as thin as a mosquito, Hubby, I was wrong. Can I take back what I said just now? Although he knew that Su Qingyao was pretending to be pitiful and trying to please him. But since he had done this, Jiang Chen was embarrassed to continue to hold her. What's more, Jiang Chen's system was a bit of a rip-off. Once he lost this girlfriend, he would be forcibly wiped out. Okay, I'll forgive you once. Jiang Chen sighed, and then said seriously with a stern face, Don't act like a princess in front of me in the future, otherwise, break up immediately. Oh. Su Qingyao pouted and nodded, looking like she was aggrieved. But her eyes were fixed on the file bag on the table. Single-family villa. Luxury supercar. 5-star citizen. Oh my god. Why did my boyfriend suddenly become a big boss? If I marry him in the future, won't I be a rich wife? When she thought of this, Su Qingyao couldn't help but reach out and hold the file bag in her hand again, and at the same time, she didn't forget to grab the Porsche's car key from Lin Shuang. Honey, where is your car parked? Su Qingyao asked impatiently. What for? Jiang Chen frowned and said. Oh. I haven't driven such a good car yet, honey, I want to feel it, okay. Su Qingyao used her trick of acting like a spoiled child again, holding Jiang Chen's arm and shaking it non-stop. The car is parked outside, take the key and find it yourself. Jiang Chen replied unhappily. Perhaps she was too happy, Su Qingyao suddenly smacked and kissed Jiang Chen hard on the face. Then she waved to Lin Shuang and said, Shuang, sister will take you out for a ride in the Porsche, do you want to go? Lin Shuang. Chapter 7 Show off everywhere. Jinju 2-star hotel. Jiang Chen was still eating lunch in the box. Su Qingyao happily pulled Lin Shuang out of the restaurant. The two girls saw a Porsche 918 parked on the side of the road. There was no way, this sports car was too cool. Cool shape, sexy lines, natural luxury temperament. It really stood out from the crowd, it was hard not to attract people's attention. Su Qingyao took Lin Shuang's hand, strode over, and kept circling around this luxury supercar. Shuang, take a photo for me quickly, I'm going to post it on WeChat moments later, he. Su Qingyao stuffed her phone into Lin Shuang's hands, and walked to the hood of the Porsche 918 in small steps. She even posed in a sexy and seductive pose, urging Lin Shuang to take a photo quickly. Lin Shuang didn't know how to describe her mood at this moment. Anyway, she had already cursed this bloody couple in her heart. Jiang Chen. You bastard. Didn't we agree that this car was for me? A real man should keep his word and do what he says. And you? Su Qingyao, you are just a fake bestie, you are stealing my love. Oh, Jiang Chen seems to be your boyfriend. Forget it, it's okay. Just like that, Su Qingyao posed in front of the sports car with great interest, while Lin Shuang took pictures of her absent-mindedly. Suddenly, a BMW drove over. The driver's window was slowly rolled down, revealing a frivolous man's face. Two beauties, do you like this Porsche very much? The man's eyes scanned back and forth between Su Qingyao and Lin Shuang, and his eyes were almost straight. You know, Su Qingyao and Lin Shuang are both campus beauties of Haiqin University. No matter their appearance or figure, they are definitely top-notch. More importantly, the man immediately concluded that Su Qingyao and Lin Shuang were gold diggers when he saw their dress and their behavior of taking pictures to show off. Such a woman gives people the feeling that it is easy to win. Har har, no matter how good the Porsche is, it is useless if it is not yours. How about you go play with me for a while? If you have fun, I will give you this BMW, how about it? As the man said, he whistled at Su Qingyao and Lin Shuang. In his opinion, a BMW car is enough to coax these two gold-digging women into bed. Who knows, Su Qingyao and Lin Shuang glanced at the man with cold eyes. The next second, Su Qingyao pressed the car key in her hand. With two light beeps, the lights of the Porsche 918 flashed twice, and the cool scissor doors opened slowly and automatically. The driver of the BMW car suddenly opened his eyes wide, his breathing almost stopped, and he didn't come back to his senses for a long time. Sure. Su Qingyao and Lin Shuang smiled and got into the Porsche. After closing the door, Su Qingyao lowered the window again. You have no money and you want to pick up girls like others. A loser is a loser. You can only drive a broken BMW in your life. Su Qingyao gave the BMW driver a middle finger and said with disdain. BMW driver. Next, Su Qingyao started the sports car and stepped on the accelerator. The Porsche 918 left the street at lightning speed. Along the way, Su Qingyao was in a particularly relaxed mood. This is a Porsche 918. No matter where she goes, she is the focus of the whole place, and I don't know how many passers-by's eyes she has attracted. Wow! What a handsome sports car, what a beautiful lady! A beautiful car and a beautiful lady, a perfect match. Sister, can I add you on WeChat? Sister, I am 18 years old, 180 centimeters tall, with 8-pack abs, and I like sports very much. Sister, are you short of a younger brother? I can be your little puppy. When Su Qingyao parked the Porsche 918 near a square, countless men who thought they were handsome came up to chat with her. Su Qingyao raised her eyebrows and ignored them all. But she couldn't help but feel happy. I enjoy this feeling too much. It's so cool. Not only Su Qingyao, Lin Shuang also enjoys the feeling of being pursued. However, both girls are proud school beauties, and they have long been accustomed to being pursued. No matter which man came forward to chat with her, they were ruthlessly rejected by them. Of course, this feeling of rejecting others also makes them feel very comfortable. After driving around outside, Su Qingyao drove the Porsche 918 directly back to Haiqin University. As soon as the sports car entered the university campus, it immediately attracted the attention of countless classmates. Fuck! Porsche 918. This is a super luxury sports car priced at 14 million federal coins. When did such a rich man appear in our school? Damn! Look! Isn't the woman who got off the car Su Qingyao, the school beauty of our school? The woman who got off the passenger seat is the school beauty Lin Shuang. Oh my god! Did the charming goddess and the iceberg goddess choose to be with a rich man at the same time? Why would they drive a luxury car back to school? Sure enough, beauties belong to rich people, and poor losers like us can only envy others on the side. Su Qingyao drove the Porsche to the downstairs of the girls' dormitory. As soon as she got off the car, she attracted the attention of countless passers-by. Su Qingyao held her chin high, then took Lin Shuang's hand, walked into the girls' dormitory building without looking back, without even turning her head. Yao Yao, I heard you drove a Porsche 918 back. Whose car is this? Yao Yao, you're not really like they say, hooking up with a fat rich man, are you? This is a luxury supercar worth more than 14 million. If anyone can give me one, I'll be willing to be his mistress. Yao Yao, does your boyfriend know about this? As soon as she returned to the dormitory, Su Qingyao's 3 roommates immediately surrounded her. Several women chattered non-stop, and everyone looked at Su Qingyao with envy and jealousy. Su Qingyao waved her hand with a smile and said, "Sisters, I have something to announce. I will move out of the dormitory today and live in a big villa." R. No. Yao Yao, don't leave. If you leave, we will lose a companion. Yao Yao, you really hooked up with a rich man. Yao Yao, does Jiang Chen know about this? You won't break up with Jiang Chen, will you? Looking at the curious eyes of her roommates, Su Qingyao suddenly took out a file bag like a magic trick and showed a real estate certificate inside. See. Jingyuan Shueisho number 1 Villa, the owner on the real estate certificate is my fiancé Jiang Chen's name. Su Qingyao smiled brightly and said with a show-off. What? Jiang Chen? Isn't he a one-star citizen? How could he afford the Jingyuan Shueisho Villa? What about the fiancé? Yao Yao, when did you get engaged to Jiang Chen? Looking at the surprised expressions on everyone's faces, Su Qingyao continued to show off. He, you don't understand. My fiancé Jiang Chen inherited a large inheritance and is now a 5-star citizen of the Federation. As a 5-star citizen, it's normal to have a villa and a sports car, right? Also, everyone is welcome to come to my house when you are free. I will definitely treat you well. Lin Shuang. Su Qingyao's roommate. Chapter 8 At an insurance. Jinju 2-star hotel. Jiang Chen ate and drank, and waited, but Su Qingyao didn't come back. He picked up the phone and called Su Qingyao directly. Hello? Husband tilde. Su Qingyao's charming and coquettish voice came from the other end of the phone. Jiang Chen couldn't help but shiver, and goosebumps fell all over the floor. Speak properly. Don't be ticklish. Jiang Chen criticized righteously. Oh. I'm just very happy, so I'm a little excited. How can I be ticklish? Disgusting. Su Qingyao said half shyly and half angrily. Okay, where are you now? Why don't you go back to the hotel? Jiang Chen said while checking the time. That. I'm at school. Husband, let me tell you, I just drove my Porsche back to school. I don't know how many people's jaws dropped. That scene, it was so funny, har har har. What? You drove my car to school? Yeah. Then how can I go home now? Husband, how about you take a taxi back? What? You drove my car away and asked me to take a taxi back. Husband. Seeing that Jiang Chen seemed angry, Su Qingyao hurriedly called her husband in a soft tone, and then quickly said, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I prepared a gift for you, and I will definitely give you a surprise tonight. Husband, don't be angry, okay? Silence, no words. Jiang Chen is not a stingy person, he just doesn't have a good impression of Su Qingyao. In this life, Jiang Chen spent nearly 200,000 yuan on Su Qingyao and owed countless online loans, but Su Qingyao's favorability towards him was only a pitiful 20 points. Besides, just because she answered the phone a little late, Su Qingyao's princess temper immediately exploded. Damn it! When she goes along with you, her favorability doesn't increase much. As long as she is a little bit not to your liking, her favorability immediately drops. What an ungrateful person. If there wasn't a cheating system hanging a sword over Jiang Chen's head, they wouldn't be able to break up. Otherwise, with Jiang Chen's temper, this kind of woman would get out of here as far as she can. This won't happen again. Also, Su Qingyao, you're not my wife yet. Don't call me husband. Jiang Chen said coldly, and then hung up the phone. As a time traveler, and a time traveler with a system, Jiang Chen felt that there was no need to waste his limited time on meaningless things. Jiang Chen's ambition is very big. Or, he is unwilling to be ordinary. He wants to toss hard, wants to stand on the top of the world, overlooking all living beings. This is related to his experience in his previous life. In his previous life, Jiang Chen was an orphan. He was bullied and humiliated since he was a child. But these hardships and tortures did not defeat him. Instead, they aroused his ambition and desire. He wanted to climb to the top step by step. He wanted to be Zhao Jiao. Well, he just wanted to stand higher and not be bullied anymore. Maybe God heard Jiang Chen's voice, so he generously gave him a chance to travel through time. So, Jiang Chen now cherishes this opportunity very much. In this life, he doesn't want to lie flat. He wants to toss and turn. Not to prove how great he is, but to fight for his pride. Ding! Suddenly, Jiang Chen's phone vibrated. Someone sent him a WeChat message. Lin Shuang, Jiang Chen, are you a man? Puff. Jiang Chen almost spit out a mouthful of blood. What's going on? My secret of not being a man was discovered so quickly. Bar. I am a man. I am a real man, how can I not be a man? Jiang Chen, what do you mean? Do you want to come and check whether I am a man or not? Lin Shuang, a man should keep his word and do what he says. Jiang Chen, yes, what do you want to do? Lin Shuang, as long as I am your girlfriend, I will give you the Porsche 918. This still counts, right? Jiang Chen. Lin Shuang, yes, I agree to be your girlfriend. Ding. Congratulations to their host Jiang Chen for getting a beauty. Ding. Congratulations to their host Jiang Chen for getting a beauty gift bag. Ding. Would you like to open the beauty gift bag? A series of system prompts suddenly sounded in his ears, and Jiang Chen's mind went blank, with a trance-like feeling as if he was dreaming. Damn. Is this playing house? No matter what, open the beauty gift bag first and see what rewards are inside. System, open the beauty gift bag for me. Jiang Chen silently said in his heart, and the system prompt sound came again in his ears. Ding. Congratulations to the host Jiang Chen for getting a Ferrari LaFerrari. Ding. Congratulations to the host Jiang Chen for getting 100 million federal coins. Ding. Congratulations to the host Jiang Chen for getting 1000 points. A familiar scene appeared, and Jiang Chen had a heavy file bag in his hand. Jiang Chen quickly opened the file bag. There was a Ferrari car key, a vehicle registration certificate, a car purchase invoice, a tax payment invoice, an insurance policy, etc. In addition, Jiang Chen's mobile phone received another bank transfer message. Darshire Federal Bank, your account with the last number 2727 completed the transfer transaction of share currency 100 million.00 at 15:15 on June 6, and the balance is 200,510.39. Host, Jiang Chen. Age, 21 years old. Physical fitness, 80. Charm, 90. Skills, car driving level 2, painting level 5, guitar level 8, singing level 8. Beauty, 2. Points, 1000. Just at this time, Lin Shuang sent another WeChat message to Jiang Chen. Lin Shuang, Jiang Chen, why are you silent? Jiang Chen stared at the WeChat message, shook his head with a smile, and quickly replied to the other party. Jiang Chen, don't call me by my name in the future. Lin Shuang, what should I call you then? Jiang Chen, call me husband. Lin Shuang. Jiang Chen breathed a sigh of relief. After confirming this relationship, he finally put his mind at ease. He didn't have much affection for either Su Qingyao or Lin Shuang. He just wanted to add an insurance policy for himself. If Su Qingyao broke up with him one day, at least there was still Lin Shuang to protect him. This can save his life. Lin Shuang, husband, I also want to move in and live with you. Jiang Chen, you want to too? Why do you use the word also? Lin Shuang, Yao Yao said that she would move in to live with you in the villa tonight. Now she is packing her luggage in the dormitory. Jiang Chen, damn. When did I say that I would allow her to move in and live with me? Lin Shuang, I don't know. Anyway, I want to live with you. Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen was in a state of confusion. After leaving the hotel, he took a taxi on the roadside and returned to Jingyuan Shueishu community. Sure enough, there was a big red Ferrari LaFerrari parked in the garage. Because he had had the same experience before, Jiang Chen did not show much surprise. System. There is nothing that the system cannot accomplish. Jiang Chen hurriedly walked into the living room of the villa, and did not visit the layout of the house. He lay down on the sofa and clicked on the system homepage. The beauty gift package also awarded 1000 points. I wonder if with so many points, can I upgrade my physical fitness, charm and various skills to the maximum level. Let's try it. Chapter 9 Full Value of Physical Fitness and Charm. Host, Jiang Chen. Age, 21 years old. Physical fitness, 80. Charm, 90. Skills, driving level 2, drawing level 5, guitar level 8, singing level 8. Beauty, 2. Points, 1000. After getting the points, Jiang Chen found that there was a red plus sign behind the physical fitness and charm on the character panel. Jiang Chen tried to click behind the physical fitness, and the points were instantly deducted by 10 points, and the original 80 physical fitness became 81. So that's it. To increase 1 point of physical fitness, you need to consume 10 points. What about charm? So Jiang Chen clicked behind the charm, and the points were deducted by 10 points, and the original 90 charm became 91. To increase 1 point of charm, you also need to consume 10 points. Next, Jiang Chen directly spent 300 points to increase both physical fitness and charm to 100 points. As a result, the red plus signs behind physical fitness and charm all disappeared. This also means that Jiang Chen has raised these two attributes to the maximum value and can no longer be improved. Suddenly, a warm current came out of Jiang Chen's stomach and flowed through his whole body in an instant. This feeling is like taking a hot spring bath, warm and intimate. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. This warm current came quickly and went quickly. It took about a cup of tea for the warm current to disappear. However, Jiang Chen smelled a bad smell. Looking down, his shirt had already been wet with sweat. Not only the shirt, but also the pants, socks, shoes, and the tight shorts worn inside, all were sticky and exuded an unspeakable bad smell. Fuck. Jiang Chen frowned, cursed in a low voice, and then rushed into the bathroom quickly. Hua la la. The sound of the shower spraying water soon came from the bathroom, but not long after, Jiang Chen's exclamation also floated out from inside. Fuck. Is this still me? Do you have to be so exaggerated? Jiang Chen in the mirror has completely changed. Although it is still the same face, his temperament has undergone earth-shaking changes. If the original Jiang Chen was just a sunny and handsome boy, then Jiang Chen at this moment is definitely like an elegant nobleman. Every look, every slight rise of the corner of the mouth, and even every subtle facial expression, seems to carry a high voltage of 100,000 volts, which can definitely kill all animals of the opposite sex in seconds. Full value of charm, really awesome. In addition to temperament, Jiang Chen's body has also changed. Their height has grown from 180 to 182, and his body is full of well-proportioned muscles. These muscles are definitely not as exaggerated as those of bodybuilders, but the kind of muscles with very beautiful lines and very attractive lines. Especially the 8 abdominal muscles, which can definitely make countless girls drool. In addition, Jiang Chen also felt that his strength, speed, endurance, reaction, etc., seemed to have been greatly improved. It seemed that there was endless energy in the body, and their whole person's spirit was surprisingly full. In order to adapt to this new body, Jiang Chen immediately walked out of the bathroom and started exercising in the living room. Jumping hard, more than 2 meters high. Running a distance, 100 meters in 9 seconds. Try weightlifting again, the marble dining table was easily lifted up. Do 200 push-ups in one breath, 200 sit-ups in one breath, 200 squats in one breath. After doing these exercises, Jiang Chen did not feel tired, but just a little sweat on his forehead. Strong? Full value of physical fitness, really strong. Gurgle. Just after Jiang Chen finished exercising, his stomach suddenly protested, a little hungry. Jiang Chen picked up the phone thrown on the sofa and checked the time. He didn't expect that it was already past 5 o'clock in the afternoon. This villa has furniture, electrical appliances, and even daily necessities, but there is not a single piece of food in the refrigerator. There is no choice, Jiang Chen can only order a takeaway with his mobile phone, and then lie on the sofa and open his character panel. Host, Jiang Chen. Age, 21. Physical fitness, 100. Charm, 100. Skills, driving level 2, painting level 5, guitar level 8, singing level 8. Beauty, 2. Points, 700. Now that both physical fitness and charm have been upgraded to the maximum level, it is time to improve your skills. However, Jiang Chen looked at the 4 skills on the panel and felt that he had no idea where to start. Car driving and painting are the skills of the original owner of this body. The original owner of this body lost both parents and grandfather very early, and only had a grandmother who depended on him. The grandmother loved the original owner very much because the original owner liked painting since childhood, so she took out the coffin book and let the original owner study art. The original owner was quite motivated and was admitted to the Department of Fine Arts of Haiqin University with the status of an art exam candidate. Unfortunately, this guy didn't have time to show filial piety to his grandmother. Once when he was changing a light bulb in the dormitory, he was accidentally electrocuted and died. As a result, Jiang Chen from another world came over and just occupied the body of the original owner. Looking at guitar and singing, these are the skills that Jiang Chen brought from another world. Jiang Chen is an orphan who has been wandering around since he was a child. By chance, he met a wandering singer, who found Jiang Chen's voice very unique, so he took him with him and sang for a living. Jiang Chen followed the wandering singer and learned to play guitar and sing. Later, the wandering singer died, and Jiang Chen inherited his legacy, using a broken wooden guitar and a natural good voice to continue to sing for a living. Until one day, Jiang Chen was spotted by a bar owner and invited to be a resident singer in the bar, and Jiang Chen ended his wandering life. Ding dong! A crisp doorbell sounded, pulling Jiang Chen's thoughts back to reality from his memories. Because he didn't bring any clothes to change, Jiang Chen only had a bath towel around him, but he still walked over and opened the door of the villa. Surprise! Are you surprised? Are you surprised? Husband, why are you not wearing clothes? Outside the door, Su Qingyao and Lin Shuang each dragged a suitcase. At the moment the door opened, Su Qingyao wanted to rush over and give Jiang Chen a big hug. But seeing Jiang Chen shirtless with only a bath towel around his body, Su Qingyao immediately shrank back in fear. However, the next second, Su Qingyao and Lin Shuang's eyes fell on Jiang Chen almost at the same time. To be precise, both women were staring at Jiang Chen's 8-pack abs. Gulp! Someone swallowed their saliva, and the sound was clearly heard by Jiang Chen, which also made Jiang Chen aware of a hint of danger. But before he could take precautions, the next second, Su Qingyao and Lin Shuang stretched out a hand at the same time, and touched his 8-pack abs at lightning speed. Fuck! What are you doing? You are being hooligans. Chapter 10 Chasing Husband Crematorium. At night, Jiang Chen played with the computer for a while in the study room, and by the way, he paid off all the online loans owed by the original owner, and then clicked on the web page to browse casually. Click! The door of the study room was suddenly opened from the outside, and Su Qingyao came in with a stack of clothes, smiling. Husband, I have washed your clothes for you, and also dried them. You can wear them anytime now. Su Qingyao put the clothes on the computer table, then turned around, walked behind Jiang Chen, and hugged his neck like a spoiled child. At this moment, Su Qingyao seemed to have just taken a shower. Not only was she wearing only a silk nightgown, but she was also exuding the fragrance of shower gel. These are not the main points. The main point is that Su Qingyao was not wearing a bra. When she hugged him like this, Jiang Chen suddenly felt his back being pressed down by two mountains. What are you doing? Aren't you too hot? Jiang Chen's eyebrows jumped slightly, and he seemed to smell a hint of danger again. Hubby, I want to discuss something with you. Su Qingyao put her mouth close to Jiang Chen's ear, her breath was as fragrant as orchid, and her charm was charming. What is it? Hubby, don't you have 2 sports cars? I was thinking that in the future, you drive the Porsche 918 and I will drive the Ferrari LaFerrari. Don't even think about it. Oh. Hubby, please, okay? No. HMPH. Stingy. As soon as Su Qingyao sticks her butt out, Jiang Chen immediately knows what she is going to say. She just took the driving rights of the Porsche in the daytime, and at night she set her sights on the Ferrari. If it weren't for her chaste face, Jiang Chen would have kicked her away long ago. This kind of woman must be properly disciplined. If she is not disciplined well, she will definitely ride on the man's head and bully him. Seeing that Jiang Chen would not take any soft or hard words, Su Qingyao was so angry that she wanted to curse. She bit her lips and said angrily, I asked you for such a small favor, but you didn't agree to it. Okay. Don't even think about getting into my bed tonight. If you don't want to, then don't. Do you think I really want to get into bed with you? Jiang Chen said indifferently. You? Su Qingyao glared at him, and didn't know how to fight back for a long time. She cursed him again as a stingy guy, and then left the study angrily. Su Qingyao, who had just walked out of the study, met Lin Shuang who was going upstairs. Yao Yao, did you give Jiang Chen all the clothes I washed? Lin Shuang was also wearing a silk nightgown, and her long hair seemed to be dripping with water, obviously she had just taken a shower. Hearing this, Su Qingyao looked at the direction of the study with a guilty conscience, and then hurriedly took Lin Shuang's hand and hurried to the living room on the second floor. Yao Yao, what are you doing? Lin Shuang asked with a puzzled look on her face. That. I've sent all their clothes. Su Qingyao's pretty face couldn't help but blush slightly, and then she thought of Jiang Chen's cold look, and the anger and grievance in her heart surged up again. Xuan, Jiang Chen is rich now, and he has changed completely. He used to listen to me. If I told him to go east, he would never dare to go west. Look at him now, he always gives me a cold look, and his words are like taking gunpowder, which makes me angry. Su Qingyao became more and more angry and aggrieved as she spoke. After a while, her eyes were slightly red. Lin Shuang didn't know how to comfort Su Qingyao. Who can you blame for this? Isn't it your own fault? If you didn't treat Jiang Chen as a licking dog at the beginning, but treated him with sincerity, then Jiang Chen would definitely treat you as a treasure in his hands now. How does that sentence go? It's fun to abuse your husband, but it's a funeral home to chase your husband. It was past 11 o'clock in the evening. Jiang Chen stretched himself and then turned off the computer. Perhaps he felt thirsty. After leaving the study, Jiang Chen turned around and walked downstairs. Dong. Tar. Just as he reached the second floor, Jiang Chen heard a rustling sound as if there was some movement on the first floor. What's going on? Is there a thief in the house? Jiang Chen frowned, then quietly walked down the stairs and came to the living room on the first floor quietly. The living room was not lit, but the dining room next to it was lit. At this moment, a woman in a nightgown was bending over and half-crouching in front of the wine cabinet, as if she was looking for something. The nightgown was very sexy, with a suspender style, made of silk fabric, and the hem was very short, barely reaching the knees. The light sprinkled on the woman's plump buttocks. Jiang Chen stared at the figure for a long time before he was sure that she was Lin Shuang. Since there was no thief in the house, Jiang Chen breathed a sigh of relief. However, Lin Shuang's rummaging aroused Jiang Chen's curiosity. Next, Jiang Chen stood aside quietly without saying anything, as if he wanted to see what Lin Shuang was looking for. As a result, he couldn't figure out what was going on after watching for a long time. On the contrary, when Lin Shuang bent down to look for something, her nightgown suddenly pulled up, revealing a bright red lace pattern underneath. Oh! I didn't expect that Lin Shuang, who looked cold on the outside, was wearing such hot underwear. Is she a woman who is cold on the outside but hot on the inside? What are you looking for? Perhaps because he felt a little embarrassed, Jiang Chen finally couldn't help asking. Suddenly hearing their voice coming from behind, Lin Shuang turned her head almost reflexively, and her eyes were locked on Jiang Chen. When she saw that it was Jiang Chen, Lin Shuang's tense body immediately relaxed. Huh! You scared me. Lin Shuang's voice was very soft, and there was a tremor, which was a bit strange. Jiang Chen walked to Lin Shuang's side and asked curiously, "Why are you not sleeping in the middle of the night and running to the restaurant to find something?" I just want to find some medicine." Looking for medicine? Are you feeling unwell? Yeah, my stomach hurts a little. Stomachache? Is it your period? No, it seems that I have a stomachache. While the two were talking, Lin Shuang's face suddenly changed, and then she squatted down with her hands on her stomach. Jiang Chen was immediately startled. He squatted down to check the situation, and then found that Lin Shuang's face was pale, and there were large beads of sweat on her forehead. Jiang Chen didn't know what disease Lin Shuang had. He wanted to call 120 for emergency treatment, but seeing Lin Shuang's painful appearance, Jiang Chen simply gritted his teeth and picked her up. "I'll take you to the hospital right away." After saying this, Jiang Chen immediately rushed out of the villa holding Lin Shuang. There was a password box embedded in the wall in the garage, which was specially used to store car keys, and the car keys of Ferrari were locked in this box by Jiang Chen. When Jiang Chen carried Lin Shuang to the car, Lin Shuang had huddled up in pain, and her face was even more pale and frightening. So Jiang Chen quickly started the car, stepped on the accelerator, and Ferrari rushed out of the garage like an angry bull in an instant. Chapter 11 Provocation on the Road. It was approaching midnight. Ferrari was driving fast on the road. Jiang Chen controlled the steering wheel with both hands, frowning. From time to time, his eyes glanced at the co-pilot seat. At this moment, beads of sweat kept coming out of Lin Shuang's forehead. She held her stomach tightly with both hands, as if she was suffering from great pain. Squeak! Suddenly, Jiang Chen stepped on the brakes, and the speed of the Ferrari dropped suddenly. Due to inertia, Jiang Chen and Lin Shuang fell forward together and almost hit the windshield. What happened? Lin Shuang raised her head blankly and looked forward. Jiang Chen took a deep breath and tried to suppress his anger. At some point, a Lamborghini appeared in front of him. Not only did the Lamborghini cut in, but it also deliberately stepped on the emergency brake. Jiang Chen, who was following behind, almost crashed into it and almost caused an accident. Suddenly, the other party accelerated and ran away. Jiang Chen didn't think much about it. He glanced at the pale Lin Shuang, stepped on the accelerator directly, and continued to drive straight to the hospital. But not long after, the Lamborghini appeared in front again, as if it deliberately slowed down the speed, waiting for Jiang Chen. At this moment, Jiang Chen smelled a hint of provocation. Sure enough, it was as expected. Hey! Brother, do you dare to compete? The window of the Lamborghini suddenly rolled down. There was a young couple sitting in the car. They were both young and looked about 17 or 18 years old. Jiang Chen glared at them coldly and did not accept their challenge. There was a patient in the car who was in a hurry to be sent to the hospital. How could he have the mood to race with others? The little boy with dyed yellow hair sitting in the driver's seat immediately raised his middle finger to Jiang Chen. Damn, what a coward, you are so timid, what kind of sports car do you drive? Oh, hey, you are handsome, don't be a duck. Are all Ferrari drivers so cowardly, har har har? The little yellow-haired boy laughed loudly, with a disdainful expression on his face. Jiang Chen still ignored it. Seeing that Jiang Chen did not respond, the little yellow-haired boy thought that Jiang Chen had given up. He immediately turned the steering wheel wildly and blocked the road even more. Suddenly, the Lamborghini accelerated and rushed directly in front of Jiang Chen. Squeak! Another sudden brake. Jiang Chen's face turned pale, his pupils suddenly contracted, and he had to step on the brakes and was forced to stop. Jiang Chen was angry, quickly unbuckled his seat belt, and was about to go out and beat the little yellow-haired boy. Jiang Chen. Although Lin Shuang was sweating from the pain, he still reached out and pulled Jiang Chen, fearing that something might happen to Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen glanced at Lin Shuang's pale face, was silent for a moment, and finally sat back in the driver's seat with gritted teeth. Lin Shuang's condition was getting worse and worse. What if the time for treatment was delayed and there were any sequelae left? Jiang Chen closed the car door, fastened his seatbelt again, and was about to step on the accelerator. But the more Jiang Chen tolerated, the more arrogant the other party became. Coward! Do you have the guts to compete? What's the point of being so handsome? You can't even drive a car. You useless piece of shit, just go back to your mother's arms and drink milk. Har har har. The little yellow-haired boy drove a Lamborghini and circled around Jiang Chen's car. Sometimes he ran to the left side of the car, and then to the right side, and kept honking the horn. Fuck. Uncle can tolerate it, but aunt can't. After being stopped by Lamborghini again, Jiang Chen's temper finally broke out. System, add all the points to the skill of car driving. Jiang Chen said silently in his heart. The next second, the system prompt sounded in his ears. Ding! Congratulations to the host for upgrading the car driving skill to level 9. Ding! Each time the host's skill is upgraded by one level, 100 points are consumed. However, upgrading from level 9 to level 10 requires 1000 points. Currently, there are not enough points, so the host can only be upgraded to level 9. Oh, so that's it. That's enough. Jiang Chen's eyes suddenly turned cold. At this moment, his temperament seemed to have undergone earth-shaking changes. A strange memory suddenly flooded into Jiang Chen's brain. This is the memory of an old driver. This old driver can drive various models and win the championship in various competitions. A mere sports car is a piece of cake. In just a few seconds, Jiang Chen digested this memory. Little duck, if you don't dare to drive, don't drive a sports car. Focus on serving your rich old woman and let her get you an antique car. At this moment, the little yellow-haired guy sitting in the Lamborghini started yelling at Jiang Chen again. Boom! Jiang Chen stepped on the accelerator and then turned the steering wheel sharply. In an instant, the Ferrari completed a beautiful on-the-spot drift and came directly to the side of the Lamborghini. Swish! The window of the driver's seat was rolled down. Jiang Chen turned his head and said to the little yellow-haired guy, "You useless guy, you block other people's roads every day, bully the weak and fear the strong, and you have the nerve to mention the word racing. I'll only demonstrate it once, open your eyes. By the way, dye your yellow hair green. Your girlfriend is already a 9-hand car, you are so green that it blinds my eyes." Har har har. After cursing, Jiang Chen didn't give the other party any chance to react, sneered, and immediately stepped on the accelerator. Boom! The Ferrari rushed out hundreds of meters away in an instant like a flash of lightning. Damn! Is what this bastard said true or false? You. Boy, wait for me. The little yellow-haired guy was so angry that his face turned black. He glared at his girlfriend next to him and slapped her, cursing. Seeing the rear of Jiang Chen's car, he immediately stepped on the accelerator and chased after Jiang Chen quickly. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. In just a few seconds, Jiang Chen increased the speed of the Ferrari to 120. The speed was extremely fast. The scenery outside the window was like riding in a time machine, going backwards at a high speed. Lin Shuang, who was sitting in the co-pilot seat, didn't know whether she was scared or had a stomachache. Her face turned a little paler. "Don't be afraid, I'm here, I won't let anything happen to you." Jiang Chen's voice was very calm. In this calm voice, there was a strong sense of confidence. It also gave Lin Shuang an inexplicable sense of security. Looking at Jiang Chen's handsome profile, her heart was pounding, and even her breathing became a little faster. This man is really perfect. Chapter 12, The God of Cars. Midnight. On the ring road. A red Ferrari and a black Lamborghini were speeding. The two cars were like lightning, their speed was jaw-droppingly fast. 170 yards, 180 yards, 190 yards. The distance between the two cars will never be more than 1 meter. Boom! The little yellow-haired boy got angrier and angrier the more he thought about it, and he almost stepped on the accelerator until smoke came out. His Lamborghini let out a roar, and gradually caught up with Jiang Chen's Ferrari from the side, trying to overtake by force. Jiang Chen glanced at the rearview mirror and sneered. The little yellow-haired guy was obviously drunk and he almost stepped on the accelerator, but that was all. Jiang Chen glanced at the car navigation. There is a bend 500 meters ahead. Right there, a lesson for you. Everyone can step on the accelerator, but the difference between a drag racer and a professional player is as huge as a chasm. The little yellow-haired boy seemed to have noticed the urgent road ahead, and his expression suddenly became very solemn. The turn ahead is almost 90 degrees, which is equivalent to a right-angle turn. Right-angle bend. A well-known accident-prone area. If you want to pass such a curve smoothly, you either have to slow down or drift, there is no other choice. The little yellow-haired boy looked up at Jiang Chen, and his pupils suddenly dilated. Why doesn't that guy show any signs of slowing down? Boom boom boom. Seeing that the distance to the curve was getting closer and closer, Jiang Chen stepped on the accelerator and increased the speed to 200 miles per hour. The Ferrari rushed straight into the bend like a flash of lightning. Seeing this, the little yellow-haired boy suddenly swallowed his saliva. Crazy. That guy has gone crazy. He still refuses to slow down. 500 meters. 400 meters. 300 meters. Oh shit. He even accelerated. Drifting is too difficult, on a 90-degree turn, only professional racing drivers dare to do it. I don't want to play with you anymore. R. The little yellow-haired man was so scared that his face turned black. He yelled, immediately released the accelerator, and lightly tapped the brake with his toes. The speed of the Lamborghini also dropped suddenly. Call out. Jiang Chen, who was driving, suddenly rolled down the window and raised his middle finger to the little yellow-haired boy. The little yellow-haired boy's eyes popped out. Oh shit. Is this guy trying to kill himself? The bend was right in front of him, but he dared to control the steering wheel with one hand and even turned around and raised his middle finger. Madman. This guy is absolutely crazy. If Jiang Chen drives at his current speed, the bend ahead will definitely become his grave. The fate that awaits Jiang Chen will surely be a car crash and death. The little yellow-haired boy's legs went weak and he almost cried. If Jiang Chen died, he would not be able to escape responsibility when the police investigated. Damn it. I just cursed him a few words. How could I meet such a lunatic who doesn't care about his life? What bad luck. In the eyes of the little yellow-haired boy, Jiang Chen was dead. But Jiang Chen, who was sitting in the Ferrari, did not feel nervous at all. Hold onto the handrails and don't move. Next, it's time to witness a miracle. A confident smile suddenly appeared on Jiang Chen's face and he smiled at Lin Shuang. He controlled the steering wheel with one hand and quickly reached for the handbrake with the other hand. Squeak! As he pulled the handbrake, a harsh friction sound was heard and thick smoke immediately came out of the rear wheels of the Ferrari. Buzz! A dizzy feeling came over her, and Lin Shuang was so scared that she closed her eyes and held onto the handrail tightly. God bless me, please don't let anything happen to me. Then, Jiang Chen turned the steering wheel to the left and released the accelerator at the same time, but did not step on the brake with his toes. Squeak! Another series of sudden brake sounds. Less than 20 meters away from the bend ahead, Jiang Chen actually turned the entire body of the Ferrari sideways. Soon, several deep tire marks were left on the road. There was also a strong burnt smell in the air. The Ferrari just turned its body sideways and used inertia to slide towards the curve ahead. 10 meters, 9 meters, 8 meters. It happened in the blink of an eye. The car was going so fast that the Ferrari was about to crash into a building on the roadside. Jiang Chen suddenly released the handbrake, and then stepped on the accelerator to the bottom, and the steering wheel quickly returned to normal. Boom! The Ferrari suddenly let out a crazy roar. The four wheels spun wildly, causing the entire sports car to stop in place for a short while. The exhaust is roaring. The four wheels are spinning like crazy. The rapid friction between the tires and the ground produced a thicker cloud of green smoke, and the burnt smell in the air became even more pungent. At this moment, time seemed to stop. The next second, the Ferrari was like a bullet fired from a gun. It instantly took off from the spot and then rushed out at lightning speed. Quiet. The scene was completely quiet. The little yellow-haired boy has parked the Lamborghini on the side of the road. His eyes widened, his mouth opened, his knees softened, and he fell to the ground with a plop. He stared at the receding figure of the Ferrari, his mind filled with the image of Jiang Chen completing the extreme drift just now. The little yellow-haired boy was so excited that he couldn't stop crying and mumbling. Fuck! What did I just see? Car, god of cars. Nimmer. How on earth was this operation accomplished? God of cars. That guy is definitely the god of cars. 1 a.m. The First People's Hospital of the city. Lin Shuang, with a pale face, was lying quietly on a hospital bed receiving in 4. Jiang Chen stayed beside the bed without leaving, and from time to time he raised his head to look at the medicine hanging above the bed. Seeing that a bottle of medicine was about to be finished, Jiang Chen quickly pressed the call button, and soon a nurse came into the ward and replaced the bottle of medicine. When the nurse left the ward, Lin Shuang suddenly turned around, blushing and asking worriedly, "Doctor, what did the doctor say? Old, old?" Lin Shuang pursed her lips and her pretty face couldn't help but blush slightly. But she remembered Jiang Chen holding her downstairs and rushing to the hospital. I remembered how Jiang Chen gritted his teeth, endured his temper, and continued driving. Thinking of Jiang Chen calmly drifting through the corners and crushing the opponent's arrogance with one hand. Husband. Lin Shuang glanced at Jiang Chen shyly, but finally called out softly. Jiang Chen nodded in satisfaction and said, "I just asked the doctor, he said it's acute gastroenteritis. After taking this bottle of medicine, I will be fine after resting for 2 days. Now, just close your eyes and go to sleep. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'll stay here to protect you." Listening to Jiang Chen's gentle and magnetic voice, Lin Shuang felt a warm current flowing through her heart. She hummed softly, and then slowly closed her eyes under Jiang Chen's gaze. But Lin Shuang's eyelashes were trembling slightly, and it was obvious that she was not asleep, but just pretending to be asleep. He. Jiang Chen shook his head, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Just as he was about to say something, he suddenly heard a series of system prompts in his ears. Ding! Lin Shuang's favorability towards you has reached 90 points. Ding! Congratulations to host Jiang Chen for obtaining a bronze treasure chest. Ding! Would you like to open the bronze treasure chest? Chapter 13 Bronze Treasure Chest. Beauty, Lin Shuang. Age, 21. Appearance, 93. Body size, 94. Number of ex-boyfriends, 0. Favorability, 90. Once the beauty's favorability reaches above 90, it means that she has fallen in love with the host. The host can now, well, feel free to have barrier-free communication. Jiang Chen raised his eyebrows, feeling extremely excited but also a little surprised. My official girlfriend currently only has 70 points. My girlfriend's best friend, her favorability level has reached 90 points. As a time traveler, I have lived 2 lives. Jiang Chen realized that there must be some unknown secrets between him and Lin Shuang. But Jiang Chen went through the memories in his mind over and over again, carefully searching through them several times. But I still can't remember it. Forget it, don't think about things you can't figure out. The system has rewarded me with a bronze treasure chest. Let us first see what kind of rewards this thing can give me. System, open the bronze treasure chest for me. Jiang Chen muttered to himself, and the next second, a series of prompt sounds rang in his ears. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining a red card. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining a heart-thumping card. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining a loan card. Ding! All cards are automatically placed into the system card pack, and the host can retrieve them at any time through thought. Red card, a disposable consumable. You can specify a stock in the host's country and force the stock to reach the daily limit. Validity period, valid on the day this card is used. Jiang Chen was surprised and happy. Just when he was worrying about how to become bigger and stronger, the system immediately gave him a big gift. Although Jiang Chen doesn't know much about stocks, he has seen pigs run even if he has never eaten pork. If a stock hits the daily limit, the profit is 10%. If it hits the ceiling and floor directly from the lower limit to the upper limit, the profit is 20%. This red card smells so good. Loan card, a one-time consumable item. After using this card, you can apply for a loan from the system. The loan amount is the host's current personal assets. The loan interest is 1% per day, and the loan period is 30 days. In addition to the red card, the system also considerately gave a loan card. Is this a rhythm where we have to put all our assets at stake and quickly grow bigger and stronger? System, I love you so much. Heartbeat card, a one-time consumable item. You can designate a target to raise their favorability towards you to 80 points. Note, this card can only be used on targets with a favorability below 80 points. This is even more precious. The ultimate weapon to capture the goddess. Love it. The time soon came to 3 o'clock in the morning. After the infusion, Lin Shuang's stomach pain was gone, her complexion returned to normal, and she was even able to skip and jump as she followed Jiang Chen out of the hospital. It seems that the medical level in this world is much better than that on Earth. Half an hour later, Jiang Chen and Lin Shuang returned to Jingyuan Shuexiu Villa No. 1. There were no lights on in the villa and it was quiet. It seemed that Su Qingyao was still sleeping and had no idea that Jiang Chen and Lin Shuang went to the hospital in the middle of the night. Husband. As soon as the two stepped into the living room, Lin Shuang suddenly tugged at Jiang Chen's sleeve, as if she wanted to say something but was too embarrassed to say it out loud. What's wrong? Jiang Chen asked in confusion. Lin Shuang's pretty face suddenly turned red. After hesitating for a moment, she stammered, "Hubby, I want to give you a surprise." What surprise? Jiang Chen's brows twitched slightly, as if he had a premonition of what was going to happen. Just go wait in the bedroom, I'll tell you what the surprise is later, okay? After saying this, Lin Shuang bit her lip lightly, then gave Jiang Chen a dreamy look, and then walked quickly upstairs. Jiang Chen was no rookie. As soon as he saw Lin Shuang's expression, he knew that spring had come, all things were reviving, and it was time for animals to communicate in depth. So what are you waiting for? Youth is limited, don't wait, or your hair will turn white. So Jiang Chen ran back to the bedroom eagerly, got on the bed, turned on the ambient light at the head of the bed, and then waited patiently. Da. About 10 minutes later, the sound of high heels hitting the ground was heard outside the door. At this moment, Jiang Chen couldn't help but turn his head and look towards the door with anticipation. Squeak! As the door was gently pushed open, the first thing that caught Jiang Chen's eyes was a pair of slender and well-proportioned beautiful legs wrapped in black stockings. The soft lines, thin black stockings, and a pair of exquisite high heels instantly made Jiang Chen's eyes widen and his blood boil. Soon, a figure flashed in from outside the door. She quickly closed the door and even locked it, then turned around and looked at Jiang Chen, who was lying on the bed. I have to say, Lin Shuang's figure is really amazing. She is 1.7 meters tall, with a thin waist and peachy butt, and her legs are all below her neck. This pair of long legs must be at least 1.2 meters long, right? Tick, tick, tick. Perhaps it was because of Jiang Chen's fiery eyes that Lin Shuang couldn't help but blushing. Then she twisted her waist, took cat steps, and walked to the bed step by step. Under the light, that beautiful face seemed to exude a charming fragrance. Is this your surprise for me? Jiang Chen licked his lips and glanced at Lin Shuang unscrupulously. From the neckline of her suspender nightgown, to the hem of her skirt, to her stockings, to her high heels, he looked her over almost from head to toe. Honey, do you like it? Lin Shuang nodded nervously and looked at Jiang Chen expectantly. Of course I like it. My husband's favorite is women wearing black stockings. Jiang Chen smiled and nodded in response. Swish. The mattress sank slightly, and Lin Shuang climbed onto the bed without even taking off her high heels, and directly into Jiang Chen's arms. At this moment, Jiang Chen no longer hesitated. He put his arms around Lin Shuang's slender waist, raised his head, and kissed her lips hard, which were painted with sexy lipstick. Hug and kiss. Jiang Chen quickly transformed into a cheater, and his inner universe completely exploded. Lin Shuang really likes Jiang Chen's current crazy state. Because the crazier Jiang Chen is, the more he can't control himself, the more it proves how strong her attraction to Jiang Chen is. However, this was Lin Shuang's first time after all, so she was actually very nervous inside. They all say it hurts the first time. How much does it hurt? Does it hurt for a moment? Or for a while? Or for several days? I heard that as long as a man is gentle, a woman won't feel much pain. I don't know whether this is true or false. In short, when Lin Shuang was daydreaming, her black silk stockings were ruthlessly destroyed and her body was also domineeringly controlled by Jiang Chen. Then, a tear of happiness flowed from the corner of Lin Shuang's eyes. It really hurts. But after the pain, a complex emotion of happiness, joy, satisfaction and sweetness emerged in my heart. This feeling is so good. Chapter 14, Discovering a Shortcut. The next morning, Jiang Chen was still sleeping soundly on the bed. Suddenly he felt a pain in his ear, as if someone had pinched it hard. He immediately opened his eyes in pain. Who knew that as soon as I opened my eyes, I saw a woman standing beside the bed. Su Qingyao. At this moment, Su Qingyao stared at Jiang Chen with her charming peach blossom eyes. Her face was cold and there seemed to be anger boiling in her beautiful eyes. In short, it's a menacing expression. Su Qingyao, what are you doing? Jiang Chen was suddenly woken up by Su Qingyao. Naturally, he was very unhappy and his tone of voice was filled with anger. Jiang Chen. You bastard. You are my boyfriend. Now, you are sleeping in the same bed with my best friend, you get up. Su Qingyao's pretty face flushed red, she roared in anger, her proud capital also kept fluctuating, and she looked very angry. Yao Yao. Lin Shuang was also awakened by Su Qingyao's roar. At this moment, she subconsciously wrapped herself in the quilt, then curled up at the head of the bed, looking at Su Qingyao who was standing beside the bed with shyness and fear. It was not until this moment that Jiang Chen reacted. He slept with Lin Shuang last night. It started at around 3 a.m. and lasted until around 6 a.m., and only stopped after Lin Shuang begged for mercy. Quiet. It was quiet in the bedroom. At this moment, Jiang Chen couldn't help but feel a jolt in his heart. But he glanced at his wrist. He. If it were another world, perhaps I could still be in the wrong. But 5-star citizens, in this world, walk sideways, reasonably and in compliance with the law. Su Qingyao, I need to remind you of something. Jiang Chen raised the 5-star bracelet on his arm that was lighting up. 3 years ago, I was a humble pauper with no money. Now, I am a 5-star federal citizen. I can live in 5-star hotels, enjoy the food in 5-star restaurants, and even have the right to run for federal parliament. And I can have more than one wife. Looking at Su Qingyao who was in a daze, Jiang Chen continued, Lin Shuang is also my girlfriend now. We can sleep in the same bed without your approval, right? Su Qingyao. Also, 5-star citizens can have more than one wife, but there is only one legal wife. I think Lin Shuang is quite well behaved, so. Before Jiang Chen finished speaking, Su Qingyao suddenly became anxious. She rushed to Jiang Chen's side, covered his mouth with her hand, and said anxiously, "Hubby, I was wrong, please don't be angry." Just like Jiang Chen said, in this world, almost all citizens with 5 stars and above are followed by a large group of concubines. As a gold digger, Su Qingyao's biggest wish is to marry a rich man. But she understood deeply that a commoner girl like her who had no family background and was only slightly pretty, even if she married into a wealthy family, could at most become a concubine of those rich men. Federal law clearly stipulates that when their husband is not at home, their wife has the final say on all matters big or small in the family. From this we can see that the status of the wife is much higher than that of a concubine. As long as she could marry a rich man and live a life without worries about food and clothing, Su Qingyao actually didn't mind being a concubine at all. But Su Qingyao could never have imagined that her boyfriend would suddenly become a rich man one day. Moreover, my best friend has transformed herself into her own mistress. Su Qingyao's eyes turned red and she was so aggrieved that she almost cried. Hubby, Shuang and I are like sisters. If you want to take her as a concubine, I will not object at all. I will even agree with it with both hands. Oh. I was just a little jealous just now, and I lost my mind for a moment, so I scolded you impulsively. Hubby, you and Shuang have been busy all night, you must be thirsty, shall I go get you a glass of water? In the past, Su Qingyao was as proud as a princess in front of Jiang Chen. Now, she is like a dog. Not only did he not dare to make Jiang Chen angry, but he also tried his best to please Jiang Chen. What they said is true, sooner or later you will have to pay for what you have done. No. Jiang Chen yawned and said uninterestedly, I'm a little tired. I want to take a nap. After saying this, Jiang Chen ignored Su Qingyao and simply hugged Lin Shuang and closed his eyes. Su Qingyao. Lin Shuang. Today is Sunday and there are no classes in school, so Jiang Chen slept until noon. After waking up, Jiang Chen found the house empty and he didn't know where Su Qingyao and Lin Shuang had gone. However, he found a note left by Su Qingyao on the dining table on the first floor of the villa. Su Qingyao told Jiang Chen that she and Lin Shuang had gone out shopping and would probably be back home around 5 p.m. Jiang Chen's face darkened. Girlfriends are addicted to shopping and don't cook, even 5-star citizens are not good enough. What should I do? It's urgent to wait online. Jiang Chen reluctantly ordered a takeaway on his mobile phone. After hurriedly eating lunch, he went into the study alone. Catch up on your knowledge of stock trading. Since the system has rewarded a red card and a loan card, we must maximize the effectiveness of these 2 items. Time passed by minute. Jiang Chen was completely immersed in the joy of learning. When the sun was setting, a system notification sound suddenly came to Jiang Chen's ears. Ding! Congratulations to their host for learning a new skill on his own stock trading. Jiang Chen was slightly stunned, and quickly opened his personal panel. Host, Jiang Chen. Age, 21. Physical fitness, 100. Charm, 100. Skills, driving level 9, drawing level 5, guitar level 8, singing level 8, stock trading level 1. Beauty, 2. Points, 160. While staring at the stock trading level 1 on the skill column, Jiang Chen suddenly had an idea. Damn it! It seems like I found a shortcut. If an ordinary person wants to master a skill, he must spend a lot of time, practicing repeatedly to improve the level of this skill. But Jiang Chen has a system. Just by reading a book about stock trading for a while, I automatically mastered the level 1 stock trading skill. Then, by spending some points, I can quickly improve the level of a skill. In other words, he doesn't need to continue reading books, nor does he need to practice and implement operations repeatedly. He only needs to spend points to upgrade his stock trading skills to the maximum level. If this isn't a shortcut, then what is? But Jiang Chen's current score is only 160, so he can only upgrade his stock trading skills to level 2. Jiang Chen thought about it and decided not to upgrade his stock trading skills. Anyway, Jiang Chen has the red card in his hand, so even if he is a newbie, he can make this money with his eyes closed. There is not much difference between level 1 skills and level 2 skills, and the points can be saved for other things. Around 5 p.m. The roar of a Porsche 918 came from the yard. Jiang Chen turned off the computer, got up and went to the living room on the first floor. Not long after, Su Qingyao and Lin Shuang, carrying large and small bags, walked into the villa, talking and laughing. "Hubby, Shuang and I bought you a lot of new clothes today. Go try them on and see if they fit you well. I bought this suit for you. It's very expensive. It cost me several $1,000s. This set of casual clothes was bought for you by Shuang, and these red shorts were also bought for you by Shuang. She said that wearing red shorts can ward off evil spirits." Cluck, cluck, cluck. Chapter 15 Beautiful Teacher. Monday, weather, sunny. Jiang Chen was in a good mood. "I had planned to take a day off, trade stocks at home, and make a fortune. But the head teacher posted an announcement in the WeChat group, saying that there was an important announcement today and every student in the class must be present, no leave, no lateness, and no absences are allowed." Head teacher? A mature and beautiful figure immediately emerged in Jiang Chen's mind. That's right. Jiang Chen's homeroom teacher is a beautiful lady named Xiao Ru. She is already 30 years old this year and is still single. Jiang Chen's eyes lit up. Royal sister, but she is Jiang Chen's type. In his previous life, Jiang Chen worked as a resident singer in the proprietress's bar. Over time, he developed love for the proprietress who was kind, gentle, generous and virtuous. It's a pity that the boss's wife has a happy family, a husband who treats her well, and a very cute daughter. No way. Jiang Chen could only hide this love deep in his heart. Maybe it was influenced by the boss lady, but Jiang Chen wasn't very interested in pretty young girls. On the contrary, he has a special liking for mature, plump, intellectual and elegant young women. So much so that in his previous life, Jiang Chen's girlfriends were almost all older women over 30 years old, and there were very few young girls around 20 years old. If Su Qingyao and Lin Shuang knew about Jiang Chen's habit, they would probably cry to death in the toilet. After breakfast, Jiang Chen drove the extremely cool Ferrari LaFerrari, while Su Qingyao and Lin Shuang drove the Porsche 918. The two cars drove into the gate of Haiqin University one after the other. Wow! This is a Ferrari LaFerrari. A super luxury sports car worth more than 20 million. Stop. The Ferrari and the Porsche have stopped. I want to see who the owner of this Ferrari LaFerrari is. Fuck. Isn't this the school hunk Jiang Chen? Look at the Porsche 918 in the back. Isn't that the car that school beauties Su Qingyao and Lin Shuang drive? Could the rumors be true? Jiang Chen inherited a large fortune and has now become a 5-star citizen of the Federation. Brother Jiang Chen is so handsome. Jiang Chen dressed up deliberately today. Not only did he wear a British-style suit, but he also combed his hair into a handsome Hong Kong-style side-back hairstyle. As soon as he got off the car, Jiang Chen became the focus of the campus. There's nothing we can do about it. Who made him drive a Ferrari to school so showy? Honey, Shuang and I have to go to class. If you need anything, feel free to call us. Su Qingyao made a phone call gesture, then happily took Lin Shuang's arm and ran towards another teaching building. Su Qingyao is a student of the music department, and Lin Shuang is a student of the dance department. Jiang Chen is a student in the Department of Fine Arts, so the three of them naturally do not attend classes in the same teaching building. Jiang Chen is not very interested in painting, but he is very curious about nude models. Department of Fine Arts. Draw. Body painting? What a man. That's all I have as a hobby. Before class started, Jiang Chen arrived at the A302 classroom of the Fine Arts Department. As soon as I walked to the classroom door, I saw a group of classmates gathered near the podium, chattering non-stop, and I had no idea what they were discussing. Jiang Chen glanced around the large classroom and did not see the head teacher Xiao Ru, so he turned and walked to the corridor, subconsciously took out a cigarette and put it in his mouth. The original owner of this body did not smoke, but Jiang Chen in his previous life was an old smoker. Student, please put out your cigarette. This is a teaching building and smoking is not allowed. Just when Jiang Chen had just lit a cigarette, a pleasant royal sister's voice suddenly came to his ears. Jiang Chen turned around and his eyes suddenly lit up. What a beautiful auntie. Wow, what a beautiful big sister. The woman was wearing a white shirt with a black suit on the outside, a hip skirt on the bottom, and her plump legs were wrapped in a layer of black stockings. Almond-shaped eyes, willow-shaped eyebrows, a high nose bridge, and lips like rose petals, which make people want to taste them. The woman's appearance is already off the charts, but her figure is even more off the charts. She can only be described as domineering. This lady is so awesome. Such big breasts. It looks like it's at least 38F. It almost blinded Jiang Chen's eyes. The proud capital almost burst the white shirt. Looking from top to bottom, one can clearly see the upper part of a pair of naughties. The deep cleavage can completely beat Su Qingyao. Name, Xiao Ru. Age, 30. Appearance, 95. Body size, 98. Number of ex-boyfriends, 0. Favorability, 10. You are Jiang Chen. Maybe she recognized the boy in front of her as a student in her class. Xiao Ru suddenly raised her eyebrows and shouted in a very stern tone. Jiang Chen. You're actually smoking? And in the teaching building? Put out your cigarette now, or I'll deduct all your credits. Also, prepare a self-review and hand it into my office after class. After saying this, Xiao Ru glared at Jiang Chen fiercely, then turned around and walked into the classroom. Ding! Xiao Ru's favorability towards you has decreased by 10 points. Ding! It is detected that Xiao Ru's appearance and figure are both above 90 points, which meets the standard of a beauty. May I ask if their host would like to pursue her? The system prompt sound coming from his ear suddenly woke Jiang Chen up. Damn it! There were only 10 points of favorability in total, and they were all cleared in an instant? Also, why do I have to write a review? How to write? I have absolutely no experience. Jiang Chen wanted to cry but had no tears. After the bell rang, Jiang Chen walked into the classroom reluctantly and sat down in the corner of the last row. Of course, Jiang Chen also saw his 3 roommates. They sat right in the middle of the classroom. The 3 are Zhu Lei, Yang Dao and Li Jie. Since he discovered that Zhu Lei seduced Su Qingyao, Jiang Chen naturally would not continue to be on good terms with this guy. As for Yang Dao and Li Jie, they are both Zhu Lei's followers and usually call him Brother Lei in a sweet way. So Jiang Chen instantly classified all 3 roommates into the enemy camp. Friendship? Jiang Chen doesn't need this thing. He is a lone wolf. He either walks alone in the darkness or becomes the leader of a wolf pack. What's more, in Jiang Chen's eyes, Zhu Lei, Yang Dao and Li Jie are not even dogs. There is no need to deliberately associate with them, so as not to lose his status. Students, this semester's courses have all ended, and the next step is the final exam. I have decided that the final exam will be held at Cheshire Mountain in the eastern suburbs. 3 days and 2 nights of sketching on site. Everyone must submit 2 works, 1 sketch and 1 oil painting. When Xiao Ru announced the news loudly, the whole class suddenly became quiet for a moment, and then thunderous cheers broke out. Cheshire Mountain is a famous tourist attraction in Haiqin City. I can go to Cheshire Mountain for sketching for 3 days and 2 nights. This isn't an exam, this is an enjoyment. This is equivalent to taking the whole class on a trip under the guise of a final exam. Teacher Xiao, I love you so much. Chapter 16 Betting All Funds. 9 a.m. The stock market of the Dashir Federation opened on time. But at this time, Jiang Chen was still in class. To be precise, Jiang Chen was lying on the table with a depressed look on his face, holding a pen in his hand, racking his brains to think about how to write a letter of apology. Jiang Chen thought about it, suddenly gritted his teeth, quickly wrote a self-criticism, then threw away the pen and took out his mobile phone. System, let me use the loan card. As Jiang Chen silently said this in his heart, he immediately heard the system prompt sound in his ears. Ding! Does their host Jiang Chen use a loan card? Yes. Ding! Congratulations to their host for successfully borrowing 340 million federal coins, with a daily interest rate of 1% and a period of 30 days. Ding! Friendly reminder, system loans cannot be overdue. Once overdue, the system will forcibly reclaim all their host's property. Jiang Chen estimated in his mind that he had a balance of nearly 200 million in his bank card, a Porsche worth 14 million, a Ferrari worth 22.5 million, and a villa whose price he didn't know. 340 million minus 200 million, minus 14 million, minus 22.5 million, then the value of Jingyuan Shuexiu Villa No. 1 is at least over 100 million federal coins. None of this is the point. The point is, Jiang Chen obtained a loan of 340 million federal coins at once, plus the balance in his bank card. The funds suddenly reached 540 million. Jiang Chen smiled slightly and decided to start making some cool moves. He took out his mobile phone, opened an app called Federal Stock Trading, swiftly logged into his long-registered stock account, and transferred all the funds into this account. Is this the start? No. Jiang Chen has more than just this ambition. According to the rules set by the Darshire Federal Stock Market, 5-star citizens can use 20 times leverage. Jiang Chen naturally would not give up this right. If you're going to do it on a bigger scale. It is not Jiang Chen's character to play small tricks. Next, Jiang Chen held up his phone and quickly browsed through various stocks. But after searching for a long time, Jiang Chen was surprised to find that none of the stocks that opened today hit the limit down. The stock that has fallen the most at the moment is a stock called Federal Pharmaceuticals. But it was only a 4% drop, which is still a long way from the limit down. If Jiang Chen buys Federal Pharmaceuticals stock now and then uses the red card to force it to reach its daily limit, he can only get a 14% return. If a reversal of the ceiling and floor is completed, Jiang Chen's profit will reach 20%. Don't underestimate this 6% price difference. You should know that Jiang Chen has 540 million in funds and can use 20 times leverage. To put it in perspective, the 6% price difference is equal to 648 million federal coins. This is all money. With more than 600 million federal coins, I wonder how many beautiful women I can support. Again, with the red card in hand, you can earn this money back with your eyes closed. Damn it. Let us wait and see. The federal stock market in this world is very similar to the stock market in Jiang Chen's world. The opening hours are from 9 to 11 o'clock in the morning, and then from 1 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. A 10% increase in stock prices is the upper limit, and a 10% decrease in stock prices is the lower limit. You cannot buy at the upper limit, and you cannot sell at the lower limit. The only difference is that the Federal Stock Exchange adopts the T+0 rule, which means that stocks bought on the same day can be sold on the same day. This is also the reason why Jiang Chen dared to bet all his assets and even use 20 times leverage. Time passes by every second. Jiang Chen waited, and finally his efforts paid off. The federal pharmaceutical stock that he had been eyeing finally fell by 10%. Not only that, it was also pressured by 3 million sell orders, and the price was stuck at the limit down. 1 lot equals 100 shares, and 3 million lots equals 300 million shares. Although Federal Pharmaceuticals has hit its limit down, its share price is still above 100 yuan. Then these 3 million sell orders are equivalent to more than 30 billion yuan of funds. Oh shit. Who placed this sell order? So fucking rich. At this moment, Jiang Chen used 20 times leverage without hesitation, and then used all the funds to buy this stock. Although a little nervous, Jiang Chen felt more excited. Just a little effort and tens of billions of funds will flow into the stock market. How can this feeling not be exciting? Seeing that all the funds had been invested in Federal Pharmaceuticals, Jiang Chen was just about to use his red card when he heard the crisp bell for the end of Get Out of Class. Classmates, Get Out of Class is over. As Xiao Ru announced the end of Get Out of Class, a noisy voice rang out in the classroom. Before leaving the classroom, Xiao Ru seemed to remember something, turned around, and shouted to Jiang Chen in the last row, "Jiang Chen, come with me to the office." Jiang Chen was slightly stunned when he heard this. He stopped operating his phone and stood up reluctantly. Amid the puzzled looks of her classmates, Xiao Ru added, "Remember to bring your self-review letter. If the content of the self-review letter does not satisfy me, then rewrite a 10,000-word self-review." Phew. Jiang Chen almost vomited blood. A 10,000-word review. Do you think this is an online novel? Jiang Chen was furious, but there was nothing he could do. I could only pick up the written apology on the desk and leave the classroom with heavy steps under the gloating eyes of my classmates. Along the way, Xiao Ru's high heels hit the ground, making a series of crisp and rhythmic tapping sounds. Jiang Chen, who was standing behind, was also staring at Xiao Ru's hip skirt. With her plump buttocks twisting and turning, paired with a black stocking and a pair of high heels, the charming Xiao Ru exudes a strong feminine charm. Along the way, Jiang Chen was so distracted and aroused. Jiang Chen was really just admiring the dress and had no other thoughts. Soon, Jiang Chen followed Xiao Ru to her office. At this time, the other 3 teachers in the office were not there. After Xiao Ryu walked in, she immediately said to Jiang Chen behind her, "Close the door." Gar? Why are they closing the door in broad daylight? The situation is a bit serious. Jiang Chen scratched his head, turned around and closed the office door. When he turned around, he found Xiao Ryu already sitting on the chair with her legs crossed. Perhaps she felt that crossing her legs was not in line with the image of a teacher, so Xiao Ryu quickly changed her posture, put her legs down, and sat on the chair. But Jiang Chen has already increased his physical fitness to the maximum value of an ordinary person. In addition to his body becoming stronger, his eyes have also become exceptionally sharp. When Xiao Ryu put her legs down, she was still caught by Jiang Chen's sharp eyes. Oh my god! Bright red again? I didn't expect that Xiao Ryu and Lin Shuang's tastes were so similar. Could it be? Is Xiao Ryu also a woman who is cold on the outside but warm on the inside? Jiang Chen, show me your apology letter. Xiao Ryu cleared her throat and finally spoke. This sentence made Jiang Chen break out in a cold sweat. Jiang Chen gritted his teeth, walked over reluctantly, and then handed the letter of apology to Xiao Ryu as slowly as possible. Xiao Ryu took the letter of apology, glanced at it casually, and her face immediately turned cold. At this moment, Jiang Chen's heart jumped into his throat. It is said that a cornered dog will jump over the wall, and a cornered rabbit will bite, and Jiang Chen is no exception at this moment. Seeing Xiao Ryu's face becoming increasingly livid, Jiang Chen quickly came up with a plan and immediately said to himself, "System, I want to use the heartbeat card." Ding! Host, please specify a target. Xiao Ryu. Ding! Congratulations to their host for successfully using their heartbeat card. Ding! Xiao Ryu's favorability towards you increases by 80 points. Ding! It is detected that Xiao Ryu's figure and appearance are both above 90 points, which meets the standard of a beauty. May I ask if their host would like to pursue her? Chapter 17 Heartbeat. In an instant, Jiang Chen suddenly discovered that Xiao Ryu's eyes seemed to have changed. She frowned slightly, a hint of doubt flashed in her eyes, and then she took Jiang Chen's letter of apology in her hands, squinted her eyes, and read it word by word. The clouds are like clothes and the flowers are like faces. The spring breeze blows against the threshold and the dew is gorgeous. If we hadn't met on the top of the Jade Mountain, we would have met under the moon on the Jade Terrace. Just like that, Xiao Ryu read this apology over and over again, raised her head with astonishment on her face, and looked straight at Jiang Chen. For some reason, Xiao Ryu suddenly found that Jiang Chen seemed particularly pleasing to the eye at this moment. More than just pleasing to the eye. Looking into Jiang Chen's deep eyes, Xiao Ryu couldn't help but feel her heartbeat speed up, her cheeks getting hot, and her heart beating wildly. Even a bold and absurd idea popped up in my mind. She wanted to. She really wants to. Get closer to Jiang Chen, a little closer, a little closer. Then, greedily sniff the smell of sweat on his body. Oh no, it's manly. When this thought came to her mind, Xiao Ryu was suddenly shocked by herself. What's going on? As a teacher, how can you have such shameless thoughts about your students? Soon, a trace of panic flashed in Xiao Ryu's eyes. She immediately turned her gaze away to avoid meeting Jiang Chen's gaze again, and cleared her throat pretending to be calm. However, her mature and beautiful face couldn't help but turn slightly red. Cough. Jiang Chen, the teacher asked you to write a self-review, what did you write? What a mess. This time, although Xiao Ryu was still criticizing Jiang Chen, her tone was no longer as cold and harsh as before. Xiao Ryu's voice was a little soft, especially the last word, R, which even had a hint of picking. This tone selection is like the interjections such as, I hate you, you are so bad, I don't want to play with you, said by a little girl when she is angry. Oh my god. Jiang Chen's bones were almost melted by this slight sound. At this moment, Jiang Chen suddenly thought of his ex-girlfriends in another world. That's right. That's the feeling. Familiar recipe, familiar taste, familiar big sister, I love you so much. Ahem. Jiang Chen coughed twice, and the corners of his mouth unconsciously rose. This poem is the first of the 3 poems in Qingping Jiao written by Li Bai, and is also a famous line used to praise concubine Yarn Yuhuan. When writing the self-criticism, Jiang Chen lay on the desk, staring at Xiao Ryu's mature and plump figure in a daze. This woman can definitely compete with the legendary Yang Yuhuan. So he couldn't help but pick up his pen and write this poem. Afterwards, Jiang Chen was busy trading stocks and actually forgot about the letter of apology. What now? You can't say that it was because I was obsessed with Teacher Xiao's black silk legs and couldn't extricate myself that I accidentally got on top of her. Teacher Xiao, this is not some messy thing. Jiang Chen cleared his throat and explained seriously, this is a great poet. For a moment, Jiang Chen froze in place. He suddenly remembered. This is not the Earth, but the parallel world Blue Star. There is no China here, only a great Xia Federation. Here, there is no poet Li Bai. What is it? Xiao Ryu suddenly narrowed her eyes and looked at Jiang Chen with interest. Quiet. The office is quiet. Jiang Chen glanced at Xiao Ryu's breathtakingly beautiful face, and then looked at her favorability level, which was as high as 80 points. At this moment, he decided to tell a huge lie. He wanted to take this opportunity to win Xiao Ryu's heart and make her his third lover. Nonsense. Appearance score, 95, figure score, 98. Who can resist this? Especially that pair of 38F big breasts, just one look at them makes my heart beat fast. Jiang Chen suddenly took a step forward, and then with melancholy eyes, a low voice, and a sad expression of unrequited love, he made a heartfelt confession. The clouds are like clothes, the flowers are like faces, the spring breeze blows over the threshold and the dew is gorgeous. If we hadn't met on the top of the Jade Mountain, we would have met under the moon on the Jade Terrace. This is the poem I wrote 3 years ago and have always wanted to give to you. The poem means: when I saw the clouds in the sky, I remembered the clothes you were wearing. When I see beautiful flowers, I think of your beautiful face. The spring breeze blows over the railings, the dew is moist, and the flowers are more colorful. In my heart, if you are not the floating fairy seen on the top of the Chuanyu Mountain, then you are the goddess under the moonlight in front of the Yaotai Palace. No one in the world can surpass your peerless beauty. Ever since I met you, there is no room for other women in my eyes. As soon as Jiang Chen finished speaking, their whole office could hear a pin drop. Quiet. Xiao Ryu's beautiful phoenix eyes stared at Jiang Chen without blinking, her pearly teeth gently biting her bright red lips, and her pretty face had already flushed red. What kind of look is this? TSK. Tenderness is like water, ice contains spring water, looking forward to the autumn water, flowers fall and water flows. Oh, the sea. You are all water. You're almost drowning me, buddy. Ding. Xiao Ryu's favorability towards you increases by 5 points. Ding. It is detected that Xiao Ryu's figure and appearance are both above 90 points, which meets the standard of a beauty. May I ask if their host would like to pursue her? Jiang Chen was delighted and his heart started beating fast. Although he has told countless lies in his life, he believes that the lie he told today is definitely the most perfect one in his life. Just 5 points left and we can get on base. What a speed! Even the rockets can't catch up with it. It's so awesome. Of course, the heartbeat card, rewarded by the system, played an indispensable role in my success in gaining Xiao Ryu's favor. Teacher Xiao, can you be my girlfriend? Jiang Chen struck while the iron was hot and immediately confessed his love to Xiao Ryu. Xiao Ryu was stunned. Looking at the sunny and handsome boy in front of her, her heart, which had long been disturbed by him, was instantly stirred up by stormy waves. Brat! Are you quite brave? Do you dare to flirt with your own teacher? But this poem he wrote, it's so beautiful. How could a student from the art department, an outsider, create such beautiful ancient poems? The one who can write such a classic poem must be a person with deep love, there is absolutely no doubt about it. However, there is a difference between teachers and students, and a forbidden love. Should I accept his pursuit? If I reject him cruelly, he will surely be very sad, right? Thousands of thoughts flashed through her mind. Finally, Xiao Ryu bit her sexy lips and made a difficult decision. Chapter 18. I take the blame. Jiang Chen. Are you here at Haiqin University to study? Or to pick up girls? How dare you tease your teacher? Do you know you are wrong? Xiao Ryu, who was a little shy and blushing just now, immediately put on a stern attitude and even criticized Jiang Chen with righteous words. Jiang Chen was stunned and instantly broke out in a cold sweat. But after checking Xiao Ryu's favorability, it was still at 85 points and had not dropped. It seems that 85 points of favorability are not enough. A favorability of more than 90 points is required to completely capture the heart of this beautiful teacher. Although Xiao Ryu rejected him, Jiang Chen saw a hint of struggle and hesitation in her eyes. Grandma's legs. It seems that there is still a long way to go for these 5 points. Silence, no words. The office suddenly fell into silence. Xiao Ryu couldn't bear to see Jiang Chen's dazed look, and an expression of self-blame and guilt emerged on her face. The resources come from the internet and are only used for learning and communication. The copyright of the novel resources belongs to the original author. So she started talking. The tone was no longer so harsh, and their voice became unusually gentle. Jiang Chen, I'm sorry. The way I spoke just now was, well, a little too harsh. But, after all, I am your teacher and you are my student. It is inappropriate for us to be together. Why? Jiang Chen asked, blinking. You are still a student, you should focus on your studies. Besides, you can't even support yourself now, so how can you support your girlfriend? Xiao Ryu educated Jiang Chen seriously. As she was talking, she seemed to have thought of something. She suddenly stood up from her seat and walked to a bookcase. Next, Xiao Ryu opened the cabinet, and after searching for a while, she actually took out a painting from it. Swish! Xiao Ryu returned to her seat and handed the painting to Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen, look at these things you have drawn. When you leave school and enter society, don't ever say that I am your teacher. Xiao Ryu sat back in her chair, holding her forehead with one hand, and it was obvious that she was very troubled. Jiang Chen subconsciously took the painting. After a quick look, I almost vomited. So ugly. This is a human body oil painting. What came into view was a woman, about 40 years old, with many wrinkles on her face, and a particularly bloated figure, with fat all over her body. The most terrible thing is that the female model is ugly. What is scary is that the author's painting skills are even worse. Not only are the edges and corners fuzzy and the color matching is problematic, but even the head-to-shoulder ratio is drawn in a morbid way, infinitely magnifying the ugliness of the model. Even a layman would find this painting eye-catching. Suddenly, Jiang Chen recalled. The original owner of this body was painting when he suddenly received a call from Su Qingyao. The other party kept urging the original owner, wanting the original owner to accompany her shopping. So, the original owner hurriedly finished the painting, regardless of quality, only caring about speed. Sure enough, behind every failed man, there is always a woman who holds him back. Har har, you are also amazed by your own work. At this moment, Xiao Ryu's slightly teasing voice suddenly reached Jiang Chen's ears. Well, Teacher Xiao, if I say that this painting was not drawn by me, do you believe it? Jiang Chen touched his nose awkwardly. He really didn't have the courage to take another look at this excellent work. You have the courage to draw, but not the courage to admit it. Jiang Chen, as a junior in the fine arts department, how could you come up with such a work to hand in? I've taught you so many things in the past 3 years, and this is how you learn. Xiao Ryu seemed to be getting angrier as she spoke. She raised her eyebrows and suddenly stretched out a hand, pinching Jiang Chen's ear without any hesitation. Hiss! It hurts, Teacher Xiao, please be gentle. Jiang Chen was so depressed. This painting was really not drawn by him, but by the original owner of this body. Teacher Xiao, why are you pinching me? I am innocent. Of course, Jiang Chen didn't dare to say this out loud. Since I can't tell the truth, I have to take the blame myself. I feel like crying but I have no tears. Also, today in my class, you didn't listen carefully. You just lowered your head and played with your phone the whole class. Which girl are you chatting with on WeChat? Oh, I almost forgot, you are the campus idol of our Haiqin University. Just wave your finger and countless little fans will throw themselves into your arms. Humph. Jiang Chen was dumbfounded. Why do I suddenly smell a sour smell in the air? Is Xiao Ryu jealous? Just when Jiang Chen was about to explain, Xiao Ryu said with a frosty face, hand over your phone. I want to see how many innocent girls you have deceived. Damn it. Check your phone. This is a blatant way of checking my husband's phone under the guise of criticism and education. At this moment, a strange expression flashed across Jiang Chen's face, but his movements were quite quick. He took out his cell phone and handed it over. Xiao Ryu raised her eyebrows, let go of Jiang Chen's ear, and took the phone openly. Who would have thought that as soon as I unlocked my phone, the page of the Federal Stock Trading software popped up on the screen? Huh? You're actually trading stocks during class time. Xiao Ru glared at Jiang Chen unhappily. Suddenly, a long string of numbers immediately attracted Xiao Ru's attention. Quiet. The office was quiet. After a brief silence, Xiao Ru suddenly raised her head and looked at Jiang Chen in shock. Jiang Chen, is this your personal stock account? Jiang Chen smiled and nodded. How come there is so much money in your account? The shock on Xiao Ru's face became even more intense. This time, Jiang Chen did not answer Xiao Ru's question, but showed his smart bracelet. 5 dazzling golden stars immediately appeared in front of Xiao Ru. Hiss! Federal 5-star citizen. Xiao Ru gasped, her beautiful almond-shaped eyes suddenly opened wide, and her long eyelashes trembled violently. Teacher Xiao, you just asked me how I should support my girlfriend in the future. I can answer you now. Is the status of a 5-star citizen of the Federation enough? The corners of Jiang Chen's mouth rose slightly. Xiao Ru, I've decided on you. Even if Jesus came, it wouldn't work. That's what I said. Chapter 19. Dig a hole and let Xiao Ru jump in. Etc. Jiang Chen, are you crazy? The stock of Federal Pharmaceuticals has already hit the limit down. How could you buy more than 1 million shares at this time? This is more than 10 billion yuan in funds. What are you thinking? Xiao Ru frowned, covered her chest, and took a few deep breaths. She seemed to understand stocks as well, and saw Jiang Chen's trading records at a glance. Because the green 10% is particularly eye-catching, and the 2 million sell orders make people feel breathless. What's wrong? Is there something wrong with this stock? Jiang Chen chuckled, with an intriguing expression on his face. He was not surprised that his teacher knew about stocks. Almost every citizen of the Daxia Federation understands stocks, and many of them are even excellent traders. It's not the stock that's the problem, it's your operation that's the problem. Who would buy all the stocks right away? And when the stock price hit the limit down, buy all the stocks. Jiang Chen, are you stupid? How did you get the status of a 5-star citizen of the Federation? Xiao Ru seemed a little excited. How to say it? I hate that iron cannot be made into steel, I hate that Jiang Chen cannot live up to his expectations, I hate that my husband cannot become a dragon. In short, he had an expression of utter disappointment towards Jiang Chen. Har har. Jiang Chen finally couldn't help but burst out laughing. Xiao Ru had unknowingly completed her identity transformation, from Jiang Chen's teacher to Jiang Chen's housekeeper. However, she herself did not realize this. What are you laughing at? It's already this time, and you can still laugh. The price of Federal Pharmaceuticals has hit the limit down and cannot be sold for the time being. You should think carefully about how to recover the loss this time. I estimate that this stock will fall sharply tomorrow. You are. Xiao Ru glared at Jiang Chen angrily, then looked down at his phone. No, it's still too infuriating. Xiao Ru covered her chest again and took a few breaths. Then he stuffed the phone back to Jiang Chen. Out of sight, out of mind. Jiang Chen saw this scene and was about to say something, but suddenly, an idea flashed in his mind. Teacher Xiao, are you so pessimistic about this stock? What if this stock goes up? If it goes from the lower limit to the upper limit, wouldn't I make a fortune? Xiao Ru's emotions had gradually calmed down, but when she heard Jiang Chen's brazen words, she immediately became excited again. Jiang Chen. I seriously doubt now whether there is water in your brain. The stock of Federal Pharmaceuticals has already hit the limit down, do you understand? Not only that, there are more than 2 million sell orders on it. You actually have the wild hope that it will break the down limit, soar all the way, and finally reach the up limit. You are already a 21-year-old adult, can you be more mature? Can you not be so childish? Xiao Ru chattered a lot of nonsense, making Jiang Chen's head buzz. At this moment, Jiang Chen wished he could take a piece of tape and seal Xiao Ru's mouth. Teacher Xiao, how about we make a bet? Jiang Chen suddenly waved his hand to interrupt Xiao Ru, with a wicked smile on his face. Bet? What? Xiao Ru was slightly stunned when she heard this, and subconsciously looked at Jiang Chen with a vigilant look. Let's bet on the stock of Federal Pharmaceuticals. Before the market closes this afternoon, can you please close the price limit as I said? Jiang Chen said shockingly. Wow. Wow. Who do you think you are? Do you think you are the stock god? Even if a real stock god came, he might not be able to save this stock. What's more, you want this stock to complete a comeback from the sky to the floor. It's simply wishful thinking. Xiao Ru shook her head, indicating that she didn't believe it. In fact, she was not exaggerating. Because in the history of the federal stock market, there are very few cases of reversal from the upper and lower floors. The last time the ceiling and floor levels occurred was 5 years ago. At that time, there was a GEM stock that miraculously reversed from the lower limit to the upper limit. However, news reports later revealed that it was because of the capital gain between the two major financial groups behind the scenes that caused the stock to go from the limit down to the limit up. This is a one-in-a-million situation. Since then, there has been no reversal from the previous day to the next day. That's why Xiao Ru scoffed at Jiang Chen's big words. Teacher Xiao, let me ask you, do you dare to gamble? Jiang Chen was too lazy to explain anything. The pit has been dug, it depends on whether Xiao Ru will jump down. What's the stakes? Xiao Ru suddenly narrowed her eyes and glanced at Jiang Chen, as if she was about to make a move. Jiang Chen spread his hands and said calmly, if I lose, I will listen to you obediently in the future. If you tell me to go east, I will go east. If you tell me to go west, I will go west. Anyway, I will follow all your arrangements and leave it to you. As soon as Jiang Chen said this, Xiao Ru's eyes lit up immediately. Okay. I'll make a bet with you. Xiao Ru agreed without hesitation. Wait, if you lose. Before Jiang Chen could finish his words, Xiao Ru interrupted him, impossible. I will never lose. What if? What if you lose? Jiang Chen shook his head, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. I thought Xiao Ru was so steady. The result is this. Hee hee. The phrase, big breasts, no brains, is indeed not groundless. I lost, what do you want to do? Xiao Ru crossed her legs as usual, smoothed her hair, and looked at Jiang Chen with interest. Jiang Chen wanted to make an excessive request, but his eyes accidentally caught sight of the oil painting on the table. In a flash, a sexy and exciting idea popped into Jiang Chen's mind. Teacher Xiao, didn't you say that my oil painting is terrible? To be honest, it's not that I don't want to paint well, but this female model, it really affects my performance. How about this? If I win, you come and be my model. I promise to give you an excellent work. As soon as Jiang Chen said this, their whole office fell into silence again. Xiao Ru's eyelids twitched violently a few times. Her face was a little cold, but a blush appeared on her face. There was a hint of anger in her eyes, but there was also a hint of shyness. After 2 full minutes, Xiao Ru suddenly gritted her teeth and said, okay. I promise you. Jiang Chen, you are dead this time. When you lose, I will take you around the entire art department and let you be a model for every class. Upon hearing this, Jiang Chen couldn't help but sweat dripped down his forehead. What a cruel heart. The Department of Fine Arts at Haiqin University has dozens of classes from freshman to senior year. If Jiang Chen served as a model for every class, who would remember his handsome face in the future? I will only remember him without clothes. Hiss. It's scary just thinking about it. As expected, women are petty and vengeful animals. But it doesn't matter. Jiang Chen has the system, so how could he lose? Jiang Chen has already thought about it. At that time, he would bow to Xiao Ru and say sincerely, Teacher Xiao, I'm counting on you. Quack. It's exciting just thinking about it. Chapter 20 Daily Limit. 10:45 a.m. There are 15 minutes left before the stock market closes at noon. The opening price of Federal Pharmaceutical today is 120 yuan, and it is still at the limit down. The stock price after the limit down is 108 yuan. Jiang Chen picked up his phone and operated the stock trading software, placing an order to sell all the stocks and setting the selling price to 132 yuan. After doing all this, Jiang Chen immediately said silently in his mind, System, I will use the red card. Ding. Host, please specify a stock to be used. Federal Pharmaceuticals, stock code 900174. Ding. Congratulations to their host Jiang Chen for successfully using the red card. The card is taking effect. Please wait. Hearing the system prompt sound coming from his ear, Jiang Chen couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. Next, just wait and wait to witness the miracle. Swish. Feeling a little excited, Jiang Chen took out a pack of cigarettes out of habit, then took out a cigarette from the pack and put it in his mouth. But, the next second, Jiang Chen felt two cold lights directly locking onto him. Turn around and take a look. Just met Xiao Ru's cold eyes. The atmosphere is a bit awkward. Well, that. I'm just sucking it, I'm not smoking. Jiang Chen awkwardly took the cigarette out of his mouth, put it back into the cigarette box, and stuffed the cigarette box into his trouser pocket. It should be possible to remedy this, right? It happened in the blink of an eye. Whoosh! A delicate hand reached out from the side, and then snatched the cigarette box from Jiang Chen's hand in the blink of an eye. I confiscated this thing. Xiao Ru looked at Jiang Chen expressionlessly, raised her cigarette box, and then threw the box of cigarettes directly into the trash can in front of him. Jiang Chen. Perhaps it was because of Jiang Chen's frustrated look that the corners of Xiao Ru's mouth twitched slightly. However, her facial expression was well controlled and did not change at all, she still looked serious and cold. Jiang Chen, as your teacher, I have the obligation and responsibility to teach you. Seeing that Xiao Ru was about to start another long speech, Jiang Chen was so scared that he quickly raised his phone and shouted in a surprised tone, "Oh my! The price of federal pharmaceutical has increased, it has increased." What? Xiao Ru was slightly stunned when she heard this, and quickly leaned her head forward, as if she wanted to see the trend of this stock. Jiang Chen smiled slightly, turned around and came to Xiao Ru's side, and at the same time held the phone between the two of them so that Xiao Ru could check it. You don't know until you see it, and you'll be shocked when you see it. Just as Jiang Chen said, the stock of federal pharmaceutical not only rose, but also rose like crazy. I don't know whether the more than 2 million sell orders that were placed on it just now were eaten up or withdrawn, but they all disappeared anyway. Immediately afterwards, a large number of buy orders poured into this stock, instantly pushing up the share price by nearly 5%. Huh. The price limit has really been opened. Jiang Chen, hurry up. Take this opportunity to sell all the stocks you have. Xiao Ru was stunned for a moment at first, then she was ecstatic, and finally she kept urging Jiang Chen to sell all his stocks quickly and lock in the profits. But Jiang Chen shook his head and replied, "Why are you in such a hurry? It hasn't even reached the daily limit yet." What? Do you really think this stock can reach its daily limit? Jiang Chen, don't let your imagination run wild. You are using 20 times leverage. The risk is so great. If you are not careful, you will be dragged into an abyss of no return. Listen to me, the teacher will never hurt you. While there is a large amount of capital entering the market, sell all the stocks you hold. It can be seen that Xiao Ru's eyes are serious and she really cares about Jiang Chen. However, she didn't know that Jiang Chen was using cheats, so naturally she wouldn't be as calm as Jiang Chen. Teacher Xiao, don't be anxious. Jiang Chen looked at Xiao Ru with a smile on his face, pointed at the phone screen and said, "Look, this stock has turned red now." R. Xiao Ru quickly lowered her head and looked at Jiang Chen's phone screen. The next second, her sexy lips painted with bright red lipstick immediately opened into an O shape. Just when Xiao Ru was persuading Jiang Chen, the share price of federal pharmaceuticals skyrocketed as if it had been injected with chicken blood. In just a short while, the originally green stocks turned red. This is not over yet. Under Xiao Ru's stunned eyes, the share price of federal pharmaceutical continued to climb at a rocket-like speed. Plus 1%, plus 2%, plus 3%. Suddenly, 1 million buy orders came down. The increase in this stock instantly soared from plus 3% to plus 10%. The price limit is reached. R. This. Xiao Ru was so shocked that she was speechless, and her mature and beautiful face was filled with an expression of disbelief. Too fast. It's really too fast. Before she could react, federal pharmaceuticals hit the daily limit. Xiao Ru rubbed her eyes in disbelief, then looked down at the phone screen. At this moment, federal pharmaceuticals not only hit the daily limit. Moreover, there are 5 million buy orders hanging below. Teacher Xiao, did I win our bet? At this moment, Jiang Chen's smiling voice suddenly floated into Xiao Ru's ears. You? Xiao Ru was slightly stunned, then suddenly raised her head and looked at Jiang Chen. But the moment she met Jiang Chen's gaze, Xiao Ru could no longer hold it in. Her pretty face immediately turned red, and she subconsciously covered her chest with both hands. Ahem. Jiang Chen tried hard to suppress his laughter and coughed twice. Teacher Xiao, my oil painting really needs an excellent model like you. Jiang Chen's tone was sincere, his attitude was upright, his eyes were clear, his thoughts. As for whether the thoughts are pure or not, I don't know. Silence, no words. Xiao Ru's pretty face had turned red all the way to her neck, and even her two cute little ears were tinged with a layer of red. Seeing that his teacher looked a little flustered, his eyes were evasive, and he never spoke, Jiang Chen suddenly felt a little overwhelmed. Could it be that this woman regretted her decision and wanted to cheat? How can this be possible? How can a person go back on his word? Teacher Xiao, I know you are a person who keeps your promises and will never cheat, right? It's better to do it today than to wait for a day. I think tonight is a good night for painting. I'll go get my painting tools ready now. Teacher Xiao, I'll pick you up after school, so don't run around. After saying this, Jiang Chen didn't give Xiao Ru any chance to refuse. He turned around, opened the office door, and ran out. Xiao Ru was dumbfounded. She never expected that Jiang Chen would make the decision to have her be a painting model tonight. This. I haven't promised you yet. Hey. Why did you run away? Seeing that Jiang Chen had already run out of the office, Xiao Ru was suddenly startled and quickly ran after him. But when she chased him out, Jiang Chen had already disappeared. Looking at the empty corridor, Xiao Ru gritted her teeth in anger. She felt her blood pressure soaring and her breathing became a little difficult. Jiang Chen, you little pervert, just wait for me. I'm so pissed off. Chapter 21 Su Qingyao is floating. Haiqin University. Room A301, Music Department Teaching Building. This was a self-study class and the teacher was not in the classroom. The students completely let themselves go. Some were playing with their phones, some were watching TV series, some were chatting, and some were eating snacks. Har, what's so surprising about this? Isn't it just a Porsche 918 worth more than 14 million? Jiang Chen originally wanted to buy me a Lamborghini Veneno, but I disliked the fact that the car didn't have a stereo, so I didn't let him buy it. Su Qingyao put her hands on her slender waist and showed off in front of her classmates. Looking at the various envious, jealous and hateful eyes around her, Su Qingyao felt like she was floating. Yao, you are so happy. Yes, Jiang Chen is really good to you. A sports car worth over 14 million yuan, just given away as a gift, Jiang Chen is so generous. If anyone can give me a sports car, even if it's just an entry-level one, I'd be willing to be his mistress, not to mention his girlfriend. Yao, now that you're rich, shouldn't you treat your classmates to a big dinner? Yes. Yao, you have to treat us. Please, have dinner. Enjoy a feast. I don't know who started the fun, but he immediately gained the support of his classmates. Everyone was clamoring for Su Qingyao to treat them to a meal, and they seemed determined to do so. Su Qingyao is already drifting away. She waved her hand and said with great generosity, okay. I'll call Jiang Chen right away and ask him to book a private room at the Haiyun 5-star hotel. Tonight, let's eat and drink well, and don't go home until we are drunk. As soon as these words were spoken, their whole class was suddenly plunged into a sea of joy. Haiyun Hotel, that is a 5-star hotel. Not to mention how expensive this restaurant is, their 5-star rating alone is enough to keep most ordinary people out. When have a group of college students who have not yet entered society ever been to such a high-end restaurant? Some people even work hard all their lives to make money, but never qualify to step into the door of this restaurant until they die. So, when Su Qingyao announced that she would treat everyone at Haiyun Hotel, the classmates were overjoyed. Even the look in his eyes when he looked at her became more and more jealous. Da. Su Qingyao wore a pair of exquisite high heels, twisted her plump figure, and even deliberately straightened her big breasts, and walked out of the classroom with a proud look on her face. As soon as she arrived in the corridor, she took out her cell phone and called Jiang Chen. Hello. I have an important task for you. Go to the Haiyun 5-star hotel and book a private room. You have to get the most luxurious one. I want to treat my classmates to dinner tonight. Did you hear that clearly? I have to say, Su Qingyao is really getting cocky. After being complimented by his classmates, his true nature was immediately exposed. The tone of his voice returned to what it was before, he became arrogant again, completely forgetting that Jiang Chen was no longer the bootlicker he used to be. Who are you? Did you call the wrong number? Jiang Chen's calm and emotionless voice came from the other end of the phone. Su Qingyao was slightly stunned and glanced at the phone screen with a frown. Is that right? It's clearly Jiang Chen's name. I didn't call the wrong number, aren't you Jiang Chen? Su Qingyao asked in surprise. Yes, I'm Jiang Chen. But who are you giving orders to here? Su Qingyao, recognize your identity. Is it impossible to change your stinky princess temper? Jiang Chen's voice came from the other end of the phone again, and it was also mixed with a hint of anger. Finally, Su Qingyao reacted and her heart skipped a beat. She quickly said in a soft and tender voice, "Oh, my dearest husband, I was just joking with you, please don't be angry." "I am indeed angry, what do you think I should do?" Jiang Chen's voice was very domineering and his attitude was very firm. Now that he has the confidence, there is no need for him to endure Su Qingyao's anger anymore. Husband tilde tilde tilde. Don't be angry, I was wrong, I apologize to you, okay? I promise, I will listen to you and never play this kind of joke on you again, okay? Su Qingyao is a talented girl in the music department. Not only does she have a good voice, but she can also switch her voice type at will. Lowly voice, girl voice, queen voice, shoter voice, old man voice, Evildor voice, queen voice. He can make all kinds of sounds with ease, he is simply a natural voice actor. Su Qingyao spoke these words just now in a royal sister's voice. The last word of every sentence has a hint of alluring tone that can melt all the bones in a person's body. This won't happen again. For Yu Jian's sake, Jiang Chen did not continue to embarrass Su Qingyao, but graciously accepted her apology. Hubby tilde tilde tilde, you are so nice. I love you. Su Qingyao complimented him immediately, and then asked, I want to treat my classmates to dinner tonight. Husband, can you? I'm busy now. After saying this, Jiang Chen immediately hung up the phone. Hearing the busy tone coming from the phone, Su Qingyao was stunned. Soon, she felt a tightness in her chest and her blood pressure was rising. It seems like something is about to explode. I'm so pissed off. Jiang Chen, you bastard. I asked you for such a small favor, and you didn't even agree. It's over. What should I do now? I boasted to my classmates that I would treat them to a meal at Haiyun Hotel. Su Qingyao's face was gloomy for a while. She glanced back at the classroom and found that her classmates were chatting enthusiastically. The more Su Qingyao listened, the more embarrassed she felt, and the more panicked she became. The classmates are discussing what to wear to Haiyun Hotel tonight. What should you pay attention to when visiting a 5-star hotel for the first time? I heard that hotels above 5 stars have luxury cars specifically for picking up and dropping off VIPs. If she were to run back and announce to her classmates that tonight's dinner party was cancelled. Well, I really can't bring myself to do this. This would make her feel worse than killing her. In desperation, Su Qingyao could only bite the bullet, bite her lip, and call Jiang Chen again. Who knew that the phone only rang twice before Jiang Chen hung up again? At this moment, Su Qingyao stood there in a daze. This feeling is like someone poured a basin of cold water on me, chilling me from the top of my head to the soles of my feet. Ding ding. At this moment, Su Qingyao's phone vibrated slightly, and she received a WeChat message from Jiang Chen. She quickly clicked on the WeChat message. Jiang Chen, I will go to Haiyun Hotel and book a private room for you. I will tell you the room number later. That's it. I'm busy now. Don't keep calling me. Wow. For some reason, after reading this WeChat message, Su Qingyao immediately burst into tears. Their negative emotions such as grievance, anger, unwillingness, anxiety, etc. that had been suppressed in my heart were vented in an instant. All the dissatisfaction, blame, hatred, dislike, etc. towards Jiang Chen disappeared in an instant. So, she couldn't help crying. I even felt a little grateful and sincere admiration for Jiang Chen, in my heart. The other side. After Jiang Chen sent the WeChat message to Su Qingyao, he just put the phone in his pocket when he heard a series of system notification sounds. Ding! Su Qingyao's favorability towards you increases by 20 points. Ding! The favorability of the beauty Su Qingyao towards you has reached 90 points. Congratulations to their host for obtaining a bronze treasure chest. Ding! Would you like to open the bronze treasure chest? Chapter 22 6-star citizens. There is a small forest behind the art department teaching building. During the day, there are few people here. At night, it becomes the best place for countless young couples to date. Jiang Chen was in a good mood. He hummed a song as he walked into the grove. He found a secluded and shady spot, sat down casually on the grass, and fiddled with his mobile phone. This time, he made a fortune. Investing 540 million federal coins and using 20 times leverage, I earned 20% in just 2 hours. Now, his funds have increased fivefold to 2.7 billion. Of course, you still have to repay the system. The loan is 340 million, with a daily interest rate of 1%. Including principal and interest, the total repayment amount is 343.4 million federal coins. Therefore, Jiang Chen immediately withdrew all the funds in the stock market to his bank account, and took the initiative to apply for repayment from the system. Finally, the balance of his bank account was 2,356,600,000 yuan. Buzz. Not long after, Jiang Chen's smart bracelet received a short message. Congratulations to Jiang Chen, ID number for 312812001010122653, a citizen of the Dashier Federation, whose personal assets have exceeded 1 billion Federation coins and whose citizen star rating has been upgraded to 6 stars. At this moment, Jiang Chen couldn't help but grin. But as he laughed, a hint of cruelty flashed in Jiang Chen's eyes. I'm just a 6-star citizen, what's there to be happy about? Today, the richest man in the Dashier Federation is already an 8-star citizen. Therefore, we have to keep working hard. If we are going to do it, we have to do it on a bigger scale. If we are going to do it, we have to be the unprecedented 9-star citizens. System, open Suqingyao's bronze treasure chest for me. Jiang Chen muttered to himself, and the next second, a series of system prompts sounded in his ears. Ding! Congratulations to their host for obtaining a compulsory purchase card. Ding! Congratulations to their host for obtaining a bad luck card. Ding! Congratulations to their host for obtaining a skill card. Ding! All cards are automatically placed into the system card pack, and the host can retrieve them at any time through thought. In fact, Jiang Chen was also a little confused. He just agreed to a small request from Su Qingyao, but who knew that the other party's favorability would soar instantly, directly from 70 points to 90 points. TSK. Give her a bone and she will be filled with gratitude and love. It seems that this woman really has the talent to be a bootlicker. Jiang Chen was filled with emotion, shook his head in a helpless smile, and immediately opened the card wallet to check. Forced purchase card, a one-time consumable item. After using this card, you can forcibly purchase any number of shares of any company in the country where the host is currently located. Not only that, the cost is reduced by 90%. Oh shit! This card is awesome. Jiang Chen's eyes suddenly widened, obviously shocked by the effect of this card. It only costs 1/10 of the money to compulsorily purchase any amount of shares in any company. Isn't this just forced buying and selling? Too domineering. I like. After reading the effects of the first card, Jiang Chen immediately set his sights on the card in Chapter 2. Bad luck card, a one-time consumable item. You can designate a target to make him/her have bad luck. Duration, 7 days. Ouch. Not bad. This card can be used to deal with those villains, such as Zhu Lei. Skill card, a one-time consumable item. After using this card, you can randomly learn a rare skill. What are rare skills? Could it be some difficult technical job? With 3 parts of expectation and 7 parts of curiosity, Jiang Chen said silently in his mind on the spot, System, I want to use the skill card. Ding! The host successfully used a skill card. Ding! Congratulations to the host for randomly learning a rare skill, Ancient Tai Chi. Ding! Friendly reminder, to upgrade the level of rare skills, you need to consume double points. In an instant, Jiang Chen felt himself entering a wonderful state. It was like a dream, the consciousness left the body and seemed to have entered a special environment. In front of him, an old man in training clothes appeared. The other party was like a patient and strict master, teaching Jiang Chen how to practice Tai Chi over and over again. Jiang Chen only felt the strength of his whole body rising little by little, and the ancient Tai Chi boxing gradually took shape in his mind. Time seems to pass very slowly, yet also seems to pass very quickly. Learned it. Jiang Chen frowned and slowly opened his eyes. Consciousness also withdrew from that special environment and returned to one's own body. Call. Why do you feel so tired? It's not physical fatigue, but mental fatigue. Jiang Chen wiped the sweat from his forehead and quickly took out his cell phone to check the time. He didn't expect that only a few seconds had passed. This system is so awesome, in one word, awesome. Host, Jiang Chen. Age, 21. Physical fitness, 100. Charm, 100. Skills, driving level 9, drawing level 5, guitar level 8, singing level 8, stock trading level 1, ancient Tai Chi level 1. Beauty, 2. Points, 320. Jiang Chen opened his personal panel and checked his points balance. At the same time, he was also thinking whether he should upgrade the ancient Tai Chi boxing to level 2. Tick, tick, tick. At this moment, Jiang Chen suddenly heard footsteps, as if it was a man and a woman, and they were walking towards him. Oh! Mr. Zhao, don't be so anxious. My dear, you are so beautiful, how can I not be anxious? Mr. Zhao, wait a minute, what you just promised me. Don't worry. As long as you sign this contract, I will use all the company's resources to make you a top star. Mr. Zhao, why don't we go to the hotel? I always feel that this place is not safe. Baby, this is exactly the kind of excitement I want. Hate. Jiang Chen was dumbfounded. He could never have imagined that someone would come to this grove for a date in broad daylight. Etc. Why do I feel like I've heard this woman's voice somewhere before? Could he be an acquaintance of the original owner of this body? Jiang Chen was very curious, and after a slight hesitation, he crept over and slowly pushed aside the bushes in front of him. The first thing that catches your eye is a woman wearing a JK skirt. The woman was kneeling on the grass with her back to Jiang Chen, her whole body leaning forward, her little head with two ponytails swaying back and forth. None of this is the point. The point is, there is a man standing in front of the woman. A mature man in a suit, probably in his 30s. I saw him leaning against a big tree, standing with his legs apart, a cigarette in his mouth, his brows relaxed, his eyes half closed, with an expression of great enjoyment. Oh my God! Young girls nowadays are really open-minded. Jiang Chen couldn't help but mutter a few words in his heart, and then he set his eyes on the JK girl. Who knew that the other person's information would immediately appear in front of me? Name, Xu Lele. Age, 22. Value, 92. Body size, 92. Number of ex-boyfriends, 4. Favorability, 30. Ding. It is detected that Xu Lele's figure and appearance are both above 90 points, which meets the standard of a beauty. Would the host like to pursue her? Phew. Jiang Chen almost vomited blood. Chasing for shit. This car is being serviced by someone else, so I can't catch up at all. I quickly said to myself, no. I don't want a fourth-hand car. Oh no. It should be a fifth-hand car now. Chapter 23, A Good Deed is Ruined. Xu Lele is one of the foremost beautiful girls at Haiqin University. At the same time, like Su Qingyao, he is also a student of the music department. But she is 1 year older than Su Qingyao, and is a senior this year and will graduate soon. This Xu Lele, because of her pure appearance, she likes to wear twin ponytails and JK skirt, so she has earned the title of pure goddess. Fuck you. Is this the pure goddess sought after by countless otakus? Look at her actions now, she did it all smoothly and skillfully, like a veteran driver. It's a fifth-hand car, so pure. Suddenly, Jiang Chen recalled something. 3 years ago, Xu Lele seemed to have pursued the original owner of this body. However, the original owner was completely devoted to Su Qingyao, so he decisively rejected her. Ding ding. Suddenly, Jiang Chen received a WeChat message on his phone. Although the WeChat notification sound is very soft, it is particularly loud in this quiet grove. Who? The man in the suit shuddered suddenly, and the cigarette in his mouth immediately slipped out. As luck would have it, the cigarette butt fell on Xu Lele's head and burned her, causing her to scream in pain. The following scene was so bright that it blinded Jiang Chen's eyes. Quick! It's really fast. The man in the suit pulled up his trousers in the blink of an eye and fastened his belt at lightning speed. Xu Lele's movements are not slow either. She quickly brushed off the cigarette butt on her head, straightened her wrinkled clothes and skirt, and then stood aside demurely and quietly, as if nothing had happened. The most important thing is that Shuleilei's face was very calm, without a trace of panic or nervousness. Depend on. This woman is definitely a repeat offender. Seeing that he could no longer hide, Jiang Chen simply stood up. Excuse me, you two continue, I didn't see anything. Jiang Chen glanced between Shuleilei and the man with a strange look, then wanted to turn around and leave the grove. You, Jiang Chen. Kid, stop right there. Shuleilei and the man in the suit shouted almost at the same time, the former with a hint of astonishment on his face, and the latter with a hint of anger on his face. Lulu, do you know this boy? The man in the suit was slightly stunned, and suddenly turned to look at Shuleilei. Mr. Zhao, he is my junior, his name is Jiang Chen, and he is a student in the Department of Fine Arts. Shuleilei's pretty face blushed slightly, and she quickly explained to Mr. Zhao. Although she appeared very calm on the surface, she was extremely panicked inside. Jiang Chen probably didn't see what happened just now, right? If Jiang Chen saw it. Oh my! How embarrassing! Did you see it? Why does Jiang Chen have such a weird expression? It's over. You must have seen it. At this moment, Shuleilei really wanted to dig a crack in the ground and crawl into it. Just as she was thinking about what to do, the man named Mr. Zhao had already strode up to Jiang Chen. My classmate, your name is Jiang Chen, right? Mr. Zhao narrowed his eyes and looked at Jiang Chen. His attitude was polite, but his face was a little gloomy. Yes, my name is Jiang Chen. What can I do for you, Mr. Zhao? Jiang Chen replied with a fake smile. Leilei and I were here just now, did you see everything? Well, actually I didn't want to peek, but you guys moved too fast, and before I could even warn you, you just... Stop. Stop it now. Mr. Zhao was so anxious that he kept sucking his teeth and had a terrible headache. I never thought that such a hidden corner that I carefully selected would be discovered by someone else. This luck is really too bad, isn't it? Looking at Jiang Chen with an innocent face, Mr. Zhao thought for a moment and his eyes suddenly turned cold. Jiang Chen, show me your phone. Mr. Zhao said in a cold tone. What do you mean? Upon hearing this, Jiang Chen's face turned cold. Mobile phones are personal belongings. How can a stranger like you just look through them? Nothing interesting, just checking if you took any secret photos just now. As soon as Mr. Zhao said this, the scene suddenly became quiet. Shuleilei, who was standing nearby, was also startled. But when I think about it carefully, it seems to be right. Maybe Jiang Chen was hiding there just now, holding up his mobile phone to take secret photos of them. His location was exposed because his cell phone rang. The text is for personal study and trial reading only. Please delete it within 24 hours after downloading. If you like this resource, please purchase the genuine version. Thank you for your cooperation. I didn't take any secret photos. Jiang Chen frowned slightly, and although he was unhappy, he still patiently answered the other party. But Mr. Zhao obviously didn't believe it. His face changed and he suddenly said in a heavier tone, I told you to get your phone, so hurry up and get it. Don't you understand what I'm saying? After saying that, Mr. Zhao sneered, and without caring whether Jiang Chen was willing or not, he just rushed over and tried to snatch Jiang Chen's phone. At this moment, Jiang Chen's temper was instantly ignited. Bang! Only a crisp sound was heard. A slap. Jiang Chen's right hand drew a strange arc in the air and landed heavily on Mr. Zhao's face. That's right. Jiang Chen slapped Mr. Zhao. Brother Chen, you are a ruthless person in society and you don't talk much. You? How dare you hit me? Mr. Zhao was stunned by the slap. His eyes widened and he gasped heavily. I never expected that an ordinary poor student would dare to fight with me over a disagreement, and hit him in the face. Do you know who I am? Fuck you, you little bastard, how dare you? Mr. Zhao was furious and immediately swung his fist, punching Jiang Chen hard in the face. Bang! Something unexpected happened. Before the punch hit Jiang Chen's face, Mr. Zhao himself flew out and fell heavily to the ground. Looking closely, Jiang Chen was slowly retracting his right leg. It was obvious that Mr. Zhao had been kicked into a bad state. Who else could be the culprit other than Jiang Chen? Mr. Zhao fell to the ground, covered in dust, and seemed to become even angrier. Little bastard! How dare you use such a dirty trick? Fuck your 18 generations of ancestors. Who? While spitting out the weeds in his mouth, he cursed at Jiang Chen, looking as if he wanted to eat Jiang Chen alive. Whoosh! It happened in the blink of an eye. Jiang Chen didn't give Mr. Zhao any chance to fight back and rushed in front of him. Bang! Jiang Chen grabbed his hair with one hand and slammed him to the ground. Mr. Zhao buried his entire face in the grass, and his mouth, which had just spit out clean water, was choked by a large mouthful of mud again. This is not over yet. Jiang Chen grabbed Mr. Zhao's hair, pulled it up suddenly, and then slammed it down hard. I told you I didn't take any secret photos, and you still don't believe me. Bang! I'll make you have a dirty mouth. Bang! You still want to steal my phone. Bang! Who gave you the courage? Bang! Under Xu Leilei's stunned eyes, Jiang Chen grabbed Mr. Zhao's hair and slammed him onto the grass again and again. Mr. Zhao was beaten so hard that he was dizzy and foaming at the mouth. Tears, snot, dirt, and weeds covered his entire fat face. Jiang Chen, stop it. Xu Leilei, who had been frightened silly for a long time, finally reacted at this moment. She screamed, covered her mouth and started yelling angrily. Are you crazy? Stop it. Stop hitting me. Do you know who he is? He is a 4-star citizen of the Federation, the Deputy General Manager of Brilliant Entertainment, Zhao Zicheng. How dare you hit him? Don't you want to live? Chapter 24, Enemy. In the woods. Zhao Zicheng leaned against a big tree and sat down, panting. Xu Leilei hurriedly squatted beside him, wiping the stains off his face and stroking his back, as if she was afraid that he would die. Mr. Zhao, are you okay? You scared me to death just now, I thought you. Jiang Chen. You are still laughing. Do you know how much trouble you have caused? If Mr. Zhao calls the police, you will be arrested and put in jail just for hitting someone. Seeing that Zhao Zicheng was beaten so hard that tears and snot were everywhere and he didn't recover for a long time, Xu Leilei suddenly turned his head and looked at Jiang Chen with a grim face. Zhao Zicheng is a supporter that she finally managed to climb up. If Xu Leilei wants to enter the entertainment industry and become a popular female star, she has to rely on this man. However, this man was beaten like this while dating me. The person who beat him was actually a poor student. But this poor guy had ruthlessly rejected her pursuit 3 years ago. All the new and old grudges came together, and a surge of anger rushed into my mind. Xu Leilei was so angry. I wish I could tear Jiang Chen to pieces right there and then. Ding! Xu Leilei's favorability towards you drops by 30 points. Listening to the system prompt sound coming from his ears, Jiang Chen curled his lips indifferently and walked in front of Zhao Zicheng and Xu Leilei. What are you going to do? Don't come over here. Xu Leilei was immediately frightened. She thought Jiang Chen was going to continue beating people, so she decisively left Zhao Zicheng alone and dodged to the side while screaming. Par. Jiang Chen glanced coldly at Xu Leilei's panicked expression, lit a cigarette, and locked his eyes on Zhao Zicheng. What do you want to do? Zhao Zicheng seemed to have been subdued by the beating. His tone was no longer fierce, and his attitude was no longer bad, but his voice was a little trembling. I don't know if it was out of anger or fear. Jiang Chen showed a mocking expression on his face. The Deputy General Manager of Brilliant Entertainment Company, on the campus of Haiqin University, used his hidden tactics on a female artist who had just signed a contract. TSK. This news is really explosive. Jiang Chen squatted in front of Zhao Zicheng and even reached out to pat the dirt off his shoulders. Boss Zhao, I feel so bad after being beaten. You want to call the police, right? Report it. How about I help you? Jiang Chen patted Zhao Zicheng on the shoulder with a smile. After hearing what Jiang Chen said, Zhao Zicheng's face immediately fell. Can't call the police. You must never call the police about this matter. He had just signed Xu Leilei to his company, and wanted to use this woman's innocent appearance to earn a lot of traffic, and then make a fortune. Xu Leilei cannot have any negative news. Once the police are called, everyone will know that he and Xu Leilei are fooling around here. Therefore, this matter must never be publicized. Jiang Chen, let's just forget about this, just go. Zhao Zicheng closed his eyes and swallowed the anger with gritted teeth. No way. What else can I do if I can't beat the other person and I don't dare to call the police? I can only let this guy go for now and find an opportunity to deal with him later. Mr. Zhao is so generous. If you are patient for a while, you will have peace of mind. If you take a step back, you will get angrier. Oh no. Take a step back and you will have a bright future. As expected of a successful person, he is so magnanimous. Jiang Chen laughed loudly, then turned around and walked out of the grove. However, after walking a few steps, he stopped again. He turned his head and looked at Xu Lei, who was not far away, and stabbed him again. Senior, you are such a great eloquent person. If you can make a short movie, I guarantee you will become famous all over the Daxia Federation. Jiang Chen, you. Xu Lei was so angry that her face turned blue, but she didn't dare to get angry at Jiang Chen. Har har. Jiang Chen couldn't help but burst out laughing, then left the grove in a leisurely manner. After Jiang Chen left, Xu Lei hurriedly squatted in front of Zhao Zicheng, then her eyes turned red and she covered her mouth and sobbed. Boss Zhao, are you just going to let Jiang Chen go like this? I was bullied by him like this, woo woo. It doesn't matter to me, but you were beaten so badly by him, are you really going to swallow this anger? A sinister look flashed across Zhao Zicheng's eyes. He immediately glanced in the direction Jiang Chen left and said grimly, Jiang Chen, I'll remember you. If you dare to offend me, Zhao Zicheng, I will make you regret coming into this world. After saying this, Zhao Zicheng suddenly grabbed Xu Lei's head and pressed it down very roughly. Mr. Zhao, you. Xu Lei was startled, but when she saw Zhao Zicheng pulling the belt with one hand, she immediately understood what he meant. A trace of disgust flashed across Xu Lei's eyes, but after a slight hesitation, she still knelt down in front of Zhao Zicheng obediently and lowered her head. Jiang Chen left the grove and immediately took out his cell phone to check it. He wanted to see which bastard had just sent him a WeChat message. Such an exciting live-action movie, but I just watched the beginning and it was interrupted before I got to the exciting part. Jiang Chen must be feeling a little unhappy. Su Qingyao, honey, Shuang said she wanted to eat Western food at noon. I have reserved a seat at the Aegean Sea Western restaurant outside the school. Can you come with us to eat Western food? After reading this WeChat message, Jiang Chen's face immediately darkened. Lin Xuan wants to eat Western food. I think it's you who wants to eat Western food. Also, you asked me to have lunch with you, didn't you just want me to pay the bill? However, Jiang Chen earned more than 2 billion federal coins today, his citizen level was upgraded to 6 stars, he also earned a bronze treasure chest from Su Qingyao, and even made an appointment with Xiao Ru to paint together. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen's mood suddenly improved. He immediately edited a WeChat message and sent it. Jiang Chen, okay, you and Shuang go first, I'll be there soon. What made Jiang Chen quite satisfied was that not long after the WeChat message was sent, Su Qingyao replied almost instantly. Su Qingyao, husband, I love you. Emoji, kiss. Jiang Chen put the phone back into his pocket and couldn't help but recall the scene of Xu Lei and Zhao Zicheng. Both are campus beauties of Haiqin University and both are talented girls in the music department. Su Qingyao should not be worse than Xu Lei, right? He. Let us go find Su Qingyao and try it again. If she can't do it, then let Lin Xuan try. Next, Jiang Chen first went back to the dormitory, and then went to the art class studio. But after searching around, Jiang Chen only found his drawing board. As for the paint and brushes, he didn't know where they were thrown. Damn it! He failed at the critical moment. I have already made an appointment with teacher Xiao to paint an oil painting for her tonight. How can I not find the oil painting tools? Never mind. My buddy has plenty of money now, so he might as well go buy a new set of oil painting tools this afternoon. If you want to buy one, buy the most expensive one. Xiao Ru is a very respectable teacher. Using cheap paint and brushes would be a blasphemy to her. Quack. Chapter 25, Enemies Meet on a Narrow Road. Noon. Jiang Chen drove the Ferrari away from Haiqin University. When he arrived at an intersection and was waiting for the red light, Jiang Chen glanced casually to the side and immediately found the Western restaurant called Aegean Sea. After his physique was strengthened, Jiang Chen's eyesight became very sharp. Through the large floor-to-ceiling windows of the Western restaurant, the figures of Su Qingyao and Lin Xuan were soon seen. At this moment, the two women were sitting by the window, talking and laughing. They seemed to be chatting casually, but both of their faces were shining with arrogance and a strong sense of superiority. The red light is off and the green light is on. Jiang Chen stepped on the accelerator and quickly drove through the intersection. Then he drove around in a circle and finally found a parking space. Jiang Chen parked the car, then walked back about 500 meters before arriving at the entrance of the Aegean Western restaurant. Jiang Chen just arrived at the door of the restaurant, and when he looked up, he found Zhao Zicheng and Xu Lele walking towards him. Judging from the other party's posture, it seems that he is also preparing to come to this Western restaurant for lunch. Why are these two people here again? Unlucky. Of course, Zhao Zicheng and Xu Lele also discovered Jiang Chen. Both sides were stunned. Why is it him again? Damn. The atmosphere is a bit awkward. Jiang Chen, what do you mean? Are you following me and Mr. Zhao? Xu Lele's face darkened instantly, and he looked at Jiang Chen with vigilance. Fuck. Who do you think you two are? One is a prostitute, and the other is a shoe picker. Why would I follow you? Pick up shoes to wear. Sorry, I don't want them. Jiang Chen's face turned cold and he retorted sarcastically. You? Xu Lele was so angry that his face turned blue and he couldn't say a word for a long time. Jiang Chen, please leave some space for me so that we can meet again in the future. Zhao Zicheng couldn't help but speak. He said with a gloomy face, I can let go of what happened in the grove just now, and let's just forget about it. I'm warning you, if I find out that you're following Lele and me and taking secret photos, I will kill you. Upon hearing this, the corners of Jiang Chen's mouth suddenly rose slightly. Hee. Why are you two so nervous? Could it be that you didn't have enough fun in the woods just now, so you plan to come here to have more fun? When Jiang Chen said this, Zhao Zicheng was immediately furious, and Xu Lele was so angry that his face turned blue. If looks could kill, Jiang Chen would have been glared to death by them thousands of times. What a damn bad luck. I come here to eat and still meet two idiots. It really affects my appetite. Jiang Chen muttered a few words in dissatisfaction, and without caring about the expressions of Zhao Zicheng and Xu Lele, he turned around and walked into the Western restaurant. In the restaurant, Su Qingyao and Lin Shuang were chatting and laughing. Suddenly seeing Jiang Chen walk in, Su Qingyao immediately stood up and waved, shouting, "Husband, this way." Jiang Chen didn't waste any words and walked over and sat next to Lin Shuang. At the same time, he stretched out a hand and hugged Lin Shuang's waist, which was as slender as a willow branch. Su Qingyao, who saw this scene, was neither angry nor jealous. He also attentively poured Jiang Chen a glass of water, then waved to call the waiter over to take the order. The other side. Zhao Zicheng and Xu Lele also walked into this Western restaurant. Zhao Zicheng glanced at Jiang Chen inadvertently, and the next second, he froze in place. Lulu, are the two girls sitting at the same table with Jiang Chen also from your Haiqin University? Zhao Zicheng's tone was very urgent. His eyes were fixed on Jiang Chen's table. To be more precise, he was staring at Su Qingyao and Lin Shuang. Mr. Zhao, those two girls are the campus beauties of our school. That coquettish and arrogant girl is named Su Qingyao, a student of the music department, and she is Jiang Chen's girlfriend. The woman next to her who always shows off her long legs is named Lin Shuang. She is a student in the dance department and Su Qingyao's best friend. Xu Lele curled her lips. It was obvious that she had no good feelings towards Su Qingyao and Lin Shuang. Jiang Chen rejected Xu Lele at that time and turned to pursue Su Qingyao. This incident made Xu Lele almost unable to raise his head in school. Therefore, Xu Lele held a grudge against Su Qingyao. As for Lin Shuang, Su Qingyao's best friend, Xu Lele hated her as well. Isn't that right? Jiang Chen's girlfriend is Su Qingyao, why didn't Jiang Chen sit with his arms around her? Instead, he hugged her best friend. Zhao Zicheng noticed something was wrong at a glance and a strange expression appeared on his face. Upon hearing this, Xu Lele narrowed his eyes and looked carefully towards Jiang Chen's table. You won't know until you see it, and you'll be shocked when you see it. Jiang Chen was indeed hugging Lin Shuang. What was shocking was that instead of pushing Jiang Chen away, Lin Shuang leaned on his shoulder, looking very intimate. The most outrageous thing was that Su Qingyao, who was sitting opposite them, not only did not get angry or jealous, but was also happily chatting with the two of them. What's going on? Are young people having so much fun nowadays? Lulu, which of those two girls is Jiang Chen's girlfriend? Zhao Zicheng was confused. He glared at Xu Lele with dissatisfaction, then turned his head and glanced back and forth between Su Qingyao and Lin Shuang several times. Boss Zhao, I don't know what's going on. Xu Lei was also in a daze. Quick, tell me everything you know, especially about Su Qingyao. Zhao Zicheng stared at Su Qingyao's 36D breasts with greedy eyes. Su Qingyao, she is a complete gold digger. Jiang Chen pursued her for a long time, but she refused. As a result, Jiang Chen worked for a year, prepared 999 roses, an Apple phone, a brand name bag, and a set of high-end cosmetics, and confessed his love to her downstairs of the girls' dormitory. They got together that day. Almost all the students in our school know about this. When Xu Lei talked about Su Qingyao, Zhao Zicheng's eyes immediately lit up. He quickly turned around and asked Xu Lei, are you sure this is true? Sure. Almost everyone in our school knows that Su Qingyao is an out-and-out gold digger. Xu Lei nodded affirmatively, with a hint of disdain on her face. At this moment, the corners of Zhao Zicheng's mouth rose slightly. Without saying a word, he walked towards Jiang Chen's table. When Xu Lei saw this scene, his eyelids twitched slightly, and he understood what was going to happen next. She stood there quietly, with her arms folded across her chest, looking as if she was watching a good show. Soon, Zhao Zicheng walked to Jiang Chen's table, put on a smile that he thought was very gentlemanly, and looked straight at Su Qingyao. Hello, you are Miss Su Qingyao, right? Let me introduce myself. I am Zhao Zicheng, the Deputy General Manager of Brilliant Entertainment. I have heard that Miss Su is as beautiful as a flower. I didn't expect to meet her here today. It is really a great honor. There is no woman who doesn't like to be complimented. Su Qingyao is no exception. Su Qingyao glanced at Jiang Chen with a smug look on her face. Her eyes seemed to tell Jiang Chen, look, I'm pretty good, right? Another man came over to chat with her. Su Qingyao casually lifted her hair and said, it's okay. I'm just a little prettier than most women, there's nothing to brag about. Quiet. The scene was completely quiet. Is this your okay attitude? Just use the most humble attitude and say the most arrogant words. Jiang Chen's face was filled with black lines, and he quickly turned his head away, as if trying to pretend that he didn't know Su Qingyao. Lin Shuang glanced at Su Qingyao, and the corners of her mouth twitched slightly. He had an expression of wanting to laugh but not daring to, and it was so hard to hold it back. Zhao Zicheng also had a frown on his face and stood there awkwardly. For a moment, he didn't know how to respond. The atmosphere was a bit awkward. However, Su Qingyao remained calm and gracefully wiped her hands with a tissue. Jiang Chen is really impressed by this shamelessness. Chapter 26, 10,000 Critical Hit Points. Ms. Su, I heard that you are Jiang Chen's girlfriend. Har har, what a pity. How come such a beautiful flower like you is stuck in this pile of cow dung like Jiang Chen? Zhao Zicheng sneered and looked at Jiang Chen with disdain. He didn't know that Jiang Chen was already a 6-star citizen. In his opinion, Jiang Chen was just a poor student from Haiqin University. Apart from being slightly handsome and popular with girls, he doesn't have any other abilities. You know, Haiqin University is known as the highest institution of learning for civilians. It is not difficult to understand from the literal meaning that this is a university open only to civilians. Rich people will send their children to aristocratic schools. The teaching conditions and faculty there are naturally the best in the entire federation. What are civilians? There is a saying circulating in the Dashir Federation, anyone below 5 stars is a civilian. In order to change their fate and achieve class advancement, the children of ordinary people tried their best to get into Haiqin University. Therefore, all the students studying at Haiqin University are children of common people, and there are no sons or daughters of wealthy families. A 3-star citizen like Zhu Lei is definitely considered a rich second generation at Haiqin University. Zhao Zicheng had already labeled Jiang Chen a poor student, so naturally he didn't take him seriously. Ms. Su, Jiang Chen is just a poor student. He has no money and no talent. What can he give you? Zhao Zicheng gave a confident smile and continued speaking to Su Qingyao. You are simply wronging yourself by following him. As a person, I hate to see girls being wronged. How about this, I just bought an Audi A8. As long as Miss Su is willing to break up with Jiang Chen, this car of mine. As Zhao Zicheng spoke, he took out a pair of car keys from his pocket. I was just about to give this car to Su Qingyao, but then I changed my mind and felt that it was not a good deal. After all, this Audi A8 is worth more than 1 million. This amount of money is enough for him to support several beautiful women in society. So, Zhao Zicheng immediately changed his words and said, "You can take this Audi A8 and drive it as you like, how about that?" Quiet. The scene was completely quiet. At this moment, Su Qingyao's face instantly darkened, and the look she gave Zhao Zicheng became exceptionally sharp. Audi A8? Drive it anywhere? Har har. Su Qingyao sneered, picked up the LV bag beside her, and took out a Porsche car key from it. "I'm sorry, Manager Zhao, I'm used to driving a Porsche 918. I always feel a little backache when driving other cars. So, you should keep that broken Audi for yourself." After hearing these words, Zhao Zicheng was stunned where he stood. His eyes were fixed on the car keys in Su Qingyao's hand, and he didn't come back to his senses for a long time. Used to driving a Porsche 918? Does driving other cars cause back pain? Broken Audi? Keep it for yourself. The corners of Zhao Zicheng's mouth twitched wildly. These words were like slaps in the face, hitting him hard, making him bleed and feel ashamed. This is naked humiliation. Although Su Qingyao has big breasts and no brains, it doesn't mean she is extremely stupid. It was obvious that Zhao Zicheng was trying to steal Jiang Chen's girl, and he was wielding the hoe openly in front of Jiang Chen. Shameless. Su Qingyao's eyes lit up, the opportunity to show off had come. A great opportunity to protect her man's face and show her loyalty to Jiang Chen. Whoosh! Su Qingyao suddenly stood up, came to Jiang Chen, and hugged his arm affectionately. "Honey, who is this poor fellow? Do you know him? You have the nerve to show off a junked Audi, and you dare not give it away, but only lend it to others. How stingy. We should stay away from these poor people in the future, so as not to be infected by their bad luck." Phew! Zhao Zicheng almost vomited blood on the spot. "I'm so angry. Poor guy. Too stingy? A broken Audi, and you still don't dare to give it as a gift." Su Qingyao's words kept lingering in Zhao Zicheng's mind. Every word, every phrase, even every punctuation mark, seemed to be like thorns, piercing deeply into his heart. Who the hell is this person? It hurts so much. My heart is bleeding. It's so cold. Although Zhao Zicheng was slapped in the face, he quickly calmed down. But when he looked up, he saw Jiang Chen hugging Su Qingyao openly and giving him a mocking smile. Zhao Zicheng felt ashamed and annoyed, and his anger rose again. He immediately directed his anger at Jiang Chen. "Jiang Chen, I didn't expect you to be so lucky to find such a rich woman. It seems like I'll have to call you a gigolo from now on." In Zhao Zicheng's opinion, since Su Qingyao can drive a Porsche 918, she must be the daughter of a wealthy family. But what does this have to do with Jiang Chen? Su Qingyao has money, but it is someone else's money. Jiang Chen can be considered a gigolo at best, yet he actually came to mock me. How dare he? Shut up. Su Qingyao raised her eyebrows and started cursing at Zhao Zicheng. "Zhao Zicheng, who do you think you are? I can't bear to scold my husband, so why do you scold my husband? I'm telling you, this Porsche 918 belongs to my husband, and he also has a Ferrari LaFerrari. Either of these sports cars can be exchanged for a dozen of your shabby Audis." Quiet. The scene was completely quiet. Anger can easily make people lose their reason. Jealousy can easily blind people's eyes. Zhao Zicheng is in this state now. He would rather believe that Su Qingyao was a rich lady than believe that Jiang Chen was a rich man. You. Who are you kidding? He's a poor student, how can he afford a Porsche 918? And a Ferrari LaFerrari? Zhao Zicheng's eyes almost popped out and he shouted hysterically at the top of his voice. "Husband tilde." Su Qingyao suddenly turned her head, looked at Jiang Chen, and asked in a soft voice. "You said he was the vice president of Brilliant Entertainment. This company wouldn't be full of poor idiots like him who have never seen the world, right?" Phew. Zhao Zicheng only felt a black screen before his eyes. It seems like I suffered a critical hit of 10,000 points. My chest is so stuffy. If I don't vomit blood, I'll probably die of anger here. Su Qingyao obviously hasn't given up yet. Besides, what happened to the Porsche 918, and what happened to the Ferrari LaFerrari? Looks like he's making a fuss. She looked at Zhao Zicheng with disdain and said, "What's there to be surprised about? You haven't seen a sports car in your life." Har har. Jiang Chen was overwhelmed with joy. When he saw Zhao Zicheng's green face, he realized for the first time that Su Qingyao could be used in this way. Is this the correct way to open Su Qingyao? So cool. Jiang Chen couldn't help but patted Su Qingyao's perky buttocks, and said earnestly, "Baby, you have to learn to understand. People like them are used to being poor and have never seen the world." Phew. Zhao Zicheng finally couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. Jiang Chen's finishing blow pierced Zhao Zicheng's heart, and it was a devastating blow. It feels like the head is torn apart. Poor motorcycle. Never seen the world. I am used to being poor. Zhao Zicheng never dreamed that one day he would be mocked for being poor by a student from Haiqin University. At this moment, he felt that everyone in the restaurant had their eyes on him. Moreover, the gazes of these people were like sharp knives, cutting his flesh one by one. It hurts. Chapter 27 Favorability increased by 1 point. Aegean Western Restaurant. Zhao Zicheng no longer had the face to stay here. Faced with all kinds of strange looks and gossip from all around, he gritted his teeth, with a dark face, walked to Xu Lele without saying a word, and pulled her out of the Western restaurant. "Honey, how did I behave just now?" Su Qingyao made a face at the backs of Zhao Zicheng and Xu Lele, and immediately hugged Jiang Chen's arm and started to act coquettishly. Bang! Jiang Chen seemed to be addicted to the game and slapped Su Qingyao's perky butt again. "Little girl, you have performed well today, and your husband will reward you handsomely." Su Qingyao's pretty face immediately turned red. After all, she felt a little shy about being taken advantage of by Jiang Chen in public. "Honey, what reward are you going to give me? Can you tell me first?" When Su Qingyao heard the words, "generous reward," her eyes immediately lit up. Ignoring Lin Shuang's resentful look, she forcibly pulled Jiang Chen to sit on her side, holding Jiang Chen's arm tightly, as if she was afraid that he would fly away. "Har har, I'll give you a big plate of chicken as a reward. Do you want one?" A sly smile appeared on Jiang Chen's lips. "Su Qingyao, is this big plate of chicken authentic?" Looking at Jiang Chen's handsome and cool appearance, Su Qingyao's heartbeat suddenly accelerated and her cheeks became hot. At the same time, a question flashed through Su Qingyao's mind. Is this still the Jiang Chen I know? Why do I feel like a different person recently? Why didn't I realize it before? It turns out he is so bad. But I just like this kind of man who is handsome, cool and a little bad. Want. Whether it's a big plate of chicken or a small plate of chicken, as long as it's a reward for my husband. I want both. Su Qingyao nodded her little head like a chicken pecking at rice. As soon as these words were spoken, Lin Shuang, who was sitting opposite holding a cup, almost spit out the water she had just drunk. Lin Shuang secretly glanced at Jiang Chen, who had a smile on his face, and subconsciously brought her long legs together. Her originally calm heart was suddenly rippled. Ding ling ling. Jiang Chen's cell phone suddenly rang, and the caller ID showed an unfamiliar number. Hello. Jiang Chen answered the call, and soon a man's voice came from the other end. I'm sorry to bother you, are you Mr. Jiang Chen Jiang? Yes, I am. Hello, Mr. Jiang, I am Liu Yongfu, the president of the Haiqin Shiqing District branch of the Federal Bank. Mr. Jiang, we just found that more than 2.3 billion federal coins have been transferred into your account. There is no problem with the source of this money. I would like to tell you that you have been automatically upgraded to a senior VIP customer of our bank. The man who claimed to be the branch manager of the Federal Bank said a lot of nonsense. His purpose was to make Jiang Chen deposit the more than 2 billion yuan in their branch. In addition, President Liu also wanted to invite Jiang Chen to dinner, hoping to meet and discuss in detail. Sorry, I'm not free tonight. Jiang Chen rejected Liu Yongfu's dinner invitation without even thinking about it. Nonsense. What day is today? How can you compare having dinner with a grown man to painting perfume for a 38F beautiful lady? Thinking of Xiao Yu's curvy figure, Jiang Chen couldn't help but turn his head and glance at Su Qingyao. He instantly felt that 36D was just like that, nothing special. Mr. Jiang, then may I ask if you are free tomorrow? Liu Yongfu's voice came from the other end of the phone again. It was obvious that the other party had not given up and was eager to make an appointment with Jiang Chen. I don't know if I'm free tomorrow, I'll see then. Okay. I'll call you tomorrow then. The other party ended the call emotionally. As soon as Jiang Chen put his phone down, Su Qingyao, who was sitting next to him, came up to him immediately and hugged his arm eagerly. "Honey, who called you?" "I don't know him. The other party said he was the branch manager of the Federal Bank and wanted to invite me to dinner. I didn't know whether it was true or not, so I didn't agree." Su Qingyao was wearing cool clothes, and when she hugged him like this, Jiang Chen instantly felt his arms being squeezed by the huge pair of 00 again. This time, Jiang Chen did not give Su Qingyao a cold look, but patiently answered her questions. After all, this woman's performance just now was very good, which made me proud. She also restrained her temper a lot. She was very flattering and obedient. The main thing is that Su Qingyao's favorability towards Jiang Chen has reached 90 points. There is a system to verify it, so it can't be false. To sum up, Jiang Chen decided to give Su Qingyao a chance. As long as she is good, buy her a street. "Hubby, I just heard you guys talking on the phone. What about more than $2 billion federal dollars?" Jiang Chen and President Liu chatted for such a long time, she didn't hear anything else but the key words, more than 2 billion federal coins. Jiang Chen couldn't help but marvel at it. She is indeed a gold digger. This property is simply amazing, as if a radar system is installed on the ear, and as long as words related to money appear, the alarm will be sounded immediately. Jiang Chen was too lazy to explain anything, he just stretched out his hand and turned on the smart bracelet. In an instant, 6 shining golden stars appeared in front of Su Qingyao. R. Husband, you. How did you become a 6-star citizen of the Federation? Su Qingyao's eyes suddenly widened. Lin Shuang, who was sitting opposite, was also dumbfounded. One of them covered his mouth and stared at Jiang Chen's smart bracelet. He opened his mouth in astonishment and forgot to swallow the steak. Su Qingyao was completely stunned. Her excitement and rapid breathing caused her big breasts to rise and fall violently, almost blinding Jiang Chen's eyes. "Oh, women should stop asking about men's affairs." Jiang Chen said this coolly, and pulled his arm out of Su Qingyao's arms, ready to enjoy a quiet lunch. "Hubby, those 2 billion federal coins are all yours." Su Qingyao couldn't help but ask. Jiang Chen nodded. "Ding. Su Qingyao's favorability towards you increases by 1 point. Ding. Lin Shuang's favorability towards you increases by 1 point." The 2 sudden system prompt sounds made Jiang Chen a little puzzled. "Why is there only 1 o'clock? Can't you give me a few more points? Is it true that once the favorability reaches 90 points, it becomes very difficult to increase it again?" "Forget it, no matter how small a mosquito is, it is still meat, and a little bit adds up to a lot." Jiang Chen smiled and didn't take it seriously. He believed that as long as he continued to make money and strive to become the legendary 9-star citizen, Su Qingyao and Lin Shuang would always rely on him, and their favorability towards him would continue to rise. One day, both women will reach the full favorability of 100 points. Jiang Chen has this confidence.